Right? Tell me how you really feel. Goddamn. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to this week's episode of the PREDCAST, number 60. Look, you got it on your stream title, bro. I saw that.
I put it there just for you.
Appreciate you. It looks like my camera's freezing. Lamau. Okay, maybe it'll be fixed. But what's going on, guys? So we got a little bit to talk about. We're gonna talk about the recent patch, couple balance changes here and there. We added a couple skins. We got a couple special guests here that we're gonna introduce. Some of you may not know these people. Some of you may remember some of these people. Hint, hint, the blonde one. And we'll do our introductions. Let's go in this particular order. Let's do Wally, Jelly, Crypto, Bearded, then myself, and tell people a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, what's good, guys? I'm Wally J. I stream out on Twitch if you guys want to come hang out. Yep, I'm just here vibing with you guys today, so looking to get into some discussion.
I see first time PREDCAST. Let's go.
I just now realized that I've played probably against Wally J. I don't know how many times, and I'm a little bit angry now, but it's fine. I'll wait. I'll hold off. But I am Jelly Knees. I'm a content creator for Predecessor. And yeah, I'm happy to be on the podcast and join Windu and Bearded again and go from there.
All right. I'm Cryptopithecus. Everybody gets a little nervous when they hear the name. That's how it's spelled. Add an underscore, and then you can find me on Twitch. I stream Pred in a variety of things, and that's about it. Looking forward to get into it.
I see. I'll be honest with you. When you said your name has nothing to do with crypto, I was mind blown. I was like, fooled me. It's not where
I... prefix.
Bet we'll get into that. Audio's a little low. I'll check on the audio levels. Go ahead, Bearded. Oh, hold on. You're muted.
All right. What's going on, everybody? It's I, the beautiful Wolverine, your Michigan Wonder. Excited to be here. Excited to have this show for you. We got 3 new people to have a great 3 opinions here. I'm excited to see what they have to say about what we got going on and get some more information from them, especially with crypto and the console side. But as for myself, stream this month is going to be only Mondays and Wednesdays. My Tuesday, Thursday dropped off because I am a coach for my daughter's softball team. So we have games on Tuesdays, Thursdays. So that's what I'll be doing those instead. But so yeah, Monday, Wednesday this week, streaming, and then some of those Wednesdays will be the PREDCAST when we have content to talk about. Like this week, we got patch 17.3 and a cryptic post from Predecessor. So can't wait to talk about that as well. So Windu, let's get you introduced.
Spicy. And what's up, guys? I'm Windu, also known as Windu the Mace. Pretty much mainly only do Predecessor content nowadays. And I'm super happy as to the fact that the game, it seems to be at least consistently growing. And it seems like, of course, we got a couple bad apples here and there, right? We're not going to name those, but you know who you are.
Windu the Mace.
Stay out of my DMs. Jelly, bro. But yeah, so I've been loving it. And whether it be just diving into the competitive side, getting excited for rank to come around the corner, whether it be even just kind of cool little things like some skins that we got to see here, and we'll talk about that more in a sec. Love this game and excited to talk about it with the spicy cast we got today. What's up, homies?
For sure.
All right, steer us away. What are we talking about?
Wait. All right. Hold on. Go to our chat. Okay. Let's just go right into that brawl post first. All right. Let's talk about that little cryptic, because I think that's going to be the shortest conversation we can have. There's not much we can say, except for we know from a Robbie post in the Discord in one of the forums, he said it's not going to be a 3v3.
Mm-hmm.
So we know, and that I can't remember exactly how long ago he said that, but he came out and confirmed that it's not going to be a 3v3. So it's looking like it's going to be a lot like a 5v5. And with the word brawl, I'm thinking something like Smite's Arena. What are your guys' thoughts with that?
Well, the code word is arena. Let's not forget that while we go into it.
Right. Code word is arena. Bold word on the post is brawl.
Mm-hmm.
I think Robbie made it pretty clear last week. code words mean nothing. I don't know if we believe them or not. But however, there was earlier talk about it being more vertical. I'm really hoping for that. I feel like, I mean, we got some verticality. I'm hoping there's a little bit more on that. That's all I'm hoping for, really. I think it'd be a little more fun. Not people are looking up enough. I don't know.
I can agree with you there. I think the same thing. I mean, I think it's going to be a big, honestly, just big circle. There'll probably be some verticality in there. I'm very curious to see how they'll implement it, because it'll come into the bigger map sooner rather than later, hopefully. But yeah, I mean, it just sounds like we're going to be brawling. I'm excited for it.
So with the word brawl and with the word with verticality being more introduced to it, are we thinking like a brawlhalla, like predecessor brawlhalla?
Oh my gosh.
No way, bro. They better not.
I thought I was gonna have a crazy theory. Now that's
man,
wild,
that's
right there.
I don't think
He
we're
did say
DKO
it wouldn't-
standards yet.
But he did say it's a mode that's never been in a MOBA before. He said that
Interesting.
in a previous conversation, right? Now, granted, I'll be honest, I care more about what we see in this picture, and I'll even put it up here on the screen so everybody can see.
Mhm.
So we already got confirmation from Robbie that they're messing with lighting. They're messing with like the ambiance of it, right? What if this is like the first step, like their first iteration of let's try messing with dynamic lighting, or like some sort of environment fog or something like that, like
Big
in
light
the
cycle
surrounding
idea.
something, you know? Like this would be a great, hey, let's mess with it without ruining the work we've done for rank so far.
I think that's a great view of a side scroll predecessor Mortal Kombat Brawlhalla view. I think that's the background thing, right? I think it works perfect, actually.
They're just
Isn't that
making
the
a
Prime
fighter
Dunk?
game right into predecessor.
If it's Prime Dump, I'd honestly be kind of excited for it. I don't know how would they put it, but I think that'd be dope.
Imagine they brought it back just
Jelly's
for that
been
game
begging
mode.
for Prime Dunk ever since PTO took it away. Like,
I've been since Paragon took it away. I've been fighting back for Prime Dunk, man. Okay, like
Bro,
Jesus.
Prime Dunk was
No,
fun.
like the thing I had, the like really tinfoil hat kind of funny haha thought I had about this was this kind of reminds me of the legacy map with this symbol and this shape, right? And a lot of people have drawn that comparison.
Yep.
But it made me think about PTO's closed beta test too, where it was on the legacy map with all abilities unlocked at level 1, and it was just a
Mayhem, bro.
madhouse and a brawl, if you want to call it that, right? And I was like, what if they do that mode and bring that back? That for fun game mode, make games 10 to 15 minutes. And that would be honestly
Yeah.
super great. I
That
don't
wouldn't
think
be
they'll do
bad.
it, but
That wouldn't be bad. Everybody gets all their abilities, offer it, just slowly level them up, slowly get gold, and start shooting people. Start doing like
and make it
yeah.
that like you're assigned a role, but it's a random hero assign that you get once you're assigned. So that way you still have everybody in the
Mhm.
roles, but you also are not picking the like super strong level 1 picks because it's just randomly assigned to you.
So you're
Hey,
saying
I'm
some
down
sort
with
of ARAM role selection
Yeah,
going on kind of
like,
vibe.
right. Just because then balance doesn't matter as much, right? If I can pick level 1 Kalari with 3 abilities unlocked, that's very different than a level 1 Greystone with 3 abilities unlocked, right? And so that balance throws balance into question. If you just make it random, then it's like, yeah, it's unbalanced, but it was randomly chosen. So
I'm getting
Right.
kind of a Smite Assault vibe, and I like that, especially for new players. It forces you to learn something and be a little uncomfortable and
Mhm.
figure it out. I think that's a great thing that I think we need for people to learn a little bit more.
I was gonna say I don't necessarily agree with the randomized for that very
No.
reason. I think they
Well-
want to be able to hop in the game and at least learn something. Maybe they're
I
not
think-
learning the MOBA mechanics, but they're
Maybe
learning something.
the chance to trade, just like in like
Yeah.
the loading screen, like if somebody gets a random you want, offer a trade. I think that's a great idea. I'm not.
Yeah. I mean, League has something very similar.
Mhm.
You know what? I would love it if it's not random, because then people like me can create tier lists around it. And then
Sure.
it's great. It's free content, right? It's a little
Yes.
harder to make a tier list when it's just a random choice, but you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, right?
I'd be
I,
cool if it was like a ban process to it, where you had to ban a couple and then you can
Ooh.
choose.
test out their ban
Actually,
system
I
before they
think,
get
yeah.
ranked out.
Facts.
Random
Facts.
system, I think it's a lot easier to snuff out who's a little busted at the moment, because suddenly there's going to be a lot of wins with a certain hero. I don't know.
Yeah.
I do like the idea though of making like the Prime Dunk its own little mini game
Please.
instead of putting it in the game itself. I mean, I'm okay with doing that as well, but like doing having the prime dunk just as its own little mini game, like you unlock it, whatever team, then you're playing like a rugby football, like trying to get it into the end zone.
Yeah,
like,
capture the flag-esque where Prime's in the middle, then whoever gets it and takes it back to their side. I'd be in for that.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool.
That would be lit. Capture the flag with Orb Prime Dunk and just kind of going at it. That would actually be cool. I would dig that. But you know what's crazy? You mentioned the legacy portion, right? What if they take this map? Because I agree with you. The overall kind of like worn down rock structure, that is very legacy-ish, where Monolith was a little bit more refined. So maybe this is going to be their homage to Legacy in a way. Like it's like, hey, we're not going to give you Legacy. We already got a 5v5 Conquest map. But let's dabble a little bit here, pull on some heartstrings and be like, hey, you remember this right here? This is for you, bro. I think people would love that shit.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, especially since Robbie hinted at tunnels across the map. Having high lanes and that kind of being the verticality piece there.
I would kill for Legacy back, man. That Monolith, I could never get behind, right? It's not that it was bad, it just wasn't Legacy for me. So if we get any variation of Legacy back, I'm so in.
Our boy Sean C is like in every video, like, and not just Predcast video, every video I see for Predecessor, bring back change the map, bring me back the Legacy map. Like he's asking for it nonstop.
For like 3 years, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
like that for like 3 years. It feels like once a month a map comment will be back and be like, hey, I feel you. Yes, I agree.
Seriously.
All right,
I'm gonna go here with Jelly and the tinfoil hat and something way off the wall here, and something different, never been a MOBA. What if they team up with Rocket League and that's a goal?
What? I'm not seeing the connection.
I'm gonna ship Bearded a tinfoil hat because he's going way off.
I'm just
here.
saying, I play a lot of Rocket League. It's kind of going downhill lately. I don't know. Maybe we don't partner with it. I don't know. I love Rocket League, but maybe not the partnership we need right now. That's all I know.
Bro, Beard is going wild with these theories, bro. I can't get behind that. I'm like, the fuck did he just say, bro? Like, nah.
I have a question for you guys from OG Paragon back in the day. Do you remember the harvester things that used to be in the jungle?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
How did you know of them? I didn't actually play with them, but I know of them. Yes.
Well, those of you that remember them or played with them, did you enjoy them? Would you like them back? I will say, you take it away, Wally.
I said I'm kind of on the fence. I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking like it would be really cool to have harvesters back. I don't know how well they would like fit with how Predecessor plays right now, but I think it's a cool mechanic to bring back to the game.
It was a different mechanic for sure.
Yeah, I think it spices up the jungle a little bit too. Some people I talk to in the jungle can kind of say it's boring, but I mean that could be a way to spice it up.
It opens a lot of opportunities for invades and all kinds of stuff when you got to sit there and I don't know.
Yep. I think just even timing when to go and get that amber, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the problem with the harvesters though, is they became just like a timed thing that like, especially with the number of them, with 4 on the map, right, 2 in each jungle, then it just became like, okay, at this time I go here and now I walk over here and I sit here for 10 seconds and go over there, right? And then I go over there and hit the harvester, or if I'm invading, right, and all those things. If they brought back a harvester like mechanic, I would want it to be like a third neutral objective. Right, I don't know where you'd put it on the map, for instance, but make it a bigger thing that, yes, it is a timed thing, just like Fangtooth or Prime would be, but it is a much bigger deal, and you have more time between it.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. I also think, although the timing, you kind of knew where people were going to be at certain times, I think it also helped a lot for new junglers trying to figure out rotations and stuff, because when you have certain times you got to hit stuff, it helps people learn when to go where. So maybe in a different game mode or something. I'm not sure, but
that's what I was going to ask.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Could you see it in a game mode? Like maybe with that game mode we were talking about doing the Orb Prime Dunk. Could it be something a harvester, helps you? How it might help you in some way to kind of like mitigate, the team that has the orb. There, like you hit a harvester, it kind of like puts up a defense wall or whatever, or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. Something it does for you in that meantime.
So shout out to Subpar Subs on Twitter, because they were saying, what if it was a game mode dedicated to basically spawning and protecting the harvesters, and it almost turns into like a domination sort of game after this harvester has spawned, and now you fight over zone control, so to speak.
That's
Yeah,
what's that game we all played? That King's Hunt.
King's Hunt had something similar. Yeah.
I've
Very
been
similar.
saying that that's like King's Hunt. You know, again, I know they're still working on it, but like I would love for Predecessor to team up with them and bring their game as a mini game, as a casual game mode for Predecessor. I think it works out perfect. They're already using some of the Paragon assets. They would obviously acquire the other assets, so the little octopus, Cyclops dude, whatever that guy is. I can't remember his name, but like they, you
We'll call him Belcast.
Okay. So, but I mean, I would love that. So a little like zone control would be awesome, I think.
I'm just excited to have a game mode out here, low-key, bro. Like
Yeah,
just something that isn't traditional 5v5. Like if I want to
Seriously.
kill 15 minutes, I don't want to have to be here for like maybe half an hour, depending on how the game goes. I want something
And you
quick.
And you don't feel like you have to sweat and rank so bad. It's a lot of pressure.
100%. Right. And I think that's the biggest thing, right? Without a ranked mode to separate kind of quick play and ranked, I feel like I have to go into every game willing to put in 110%. And there are a lot of times that I don't play Pred because I don't feel like putting in 110%.
Mhm.
And so it's just like I feel like playing Pred, but I just don't because I know I'm not mentally where I need to be to play the game.
I feel that,
agree.
bro. I'm 1,000% there with you. Like right now, I look at Pred, I hover it, I'm gonna open it, and then I'm like, fuck, do I want to try hard? And then I'm like, you know what? It's a good night for TFT. A lot of times, to be honest. A lot of times. Like honestly, I like shout out to people like Wally that, bro, let's hop on Pred. I'm like, you know what? I didn't really want to like try. Like I was in the chilling mode, but fine, bro. Let's play some Pred. Let's go. I'm excited.
So speaking of sweating, it reminds me of when I played with Jelly and Mangoose, and we had Viking Jedi with us as well. Do you remember that match, Jelly, where we were playing and we lost Prime and Fangtooth? We defended Core. We lost Prime and Fangtooth again. We defended Core, and the last time we defended Core, we got a team wipe and we shoved it down mid. That was a sweat match. That one we were like, oh my gosh, but we pulled a W. It was crazy how we pulled that W out, but it's like, whew. That one, that was a fun one. Like that was the back and forth. It's like, okay, hey, we're getting our butts kicked, but we're still holding on, and we were able to get a positive out of it. But yeah, so I get what you're saying though with the sweat side of it. I do want a casual mode. I want a casual mode so I can play the normal mode and feel like maybe not necessarily sweat, but I can play it and not have to deal with the people that just like, I don't want to sweat, so I'm gonna play Chimera Carry, and it's like, really, like I just want to play the game. That's all I want to do. Like I'm not sitting here necessarily wanting to sweat, but I want to play the game the way the game's supposed to be played. I get there's people who are like Joey that can go out there and they can play somebody anywhere and it's viable for that person, but it's not viable for everybody, like
Yeah.
so that's all I'm asking for. Like, but so yeah, I want a casual mode just so like the people who want to do that can be like, hey, go play the casual mode and do that. Like go have fun over there. I want
Even as like a warm up too, right? Like being able to go into that and
too,
spend
yes.
15 minutes
Yeah.
and just like get my head around the game I'm playing, right? Before
get
sometimes
your
I go into
stormtrooper
Pred.
shots out of the way,
Yeah, exactly, right? Like unless you're Windu, in which case it won't matter to have a casual mode. But like I want something that I can just like get my arms warmed up and used to like moving and swiping around and doing all those things, right? Before I go into playing jungle on somebody and being like, I don't even remember how to farm minions, man. Like I just can't do it.
Yep, I get you.
Kalari problems.
I get it.
Ranked. They had a post about ranked too, didn't they? Or was there something? Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
like
they
2 weeks
talked
ago,
about what
yeah.
they're gonna talk. They talked about what their plan was, like, and I read that, and I can tell me if I read it wrong, but I felt like they're only gonna open it up for the weekends.
That's what it said. And initially it'll be for weekends until they open up full time.
Yeah, that as for somebody who like I don't have the time, like the weekends for me is family time. Like I play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? So I'm not going to be able to play ranked. And I mean, I get they said they plan on opening it like that. That's a very limited window. They want to be able to expand it quickly, but it's all about like getting data to understand it. So I get they want to open it up quickly, but it's just that I want to be able to play it when it first opens up. I already have my level that I need. I already have my heroes, the amount of heroes I need. I get what, speaking of that, you got to be level, for those of you who don't know, you got to be level 30. Your account level's got to be level 30, and you got to have 20 heroes unlocked, I think is the number.
Yep,
Correct me if I'm
20
wrong, guys.
heroes, level 30, and you can't be subject to any ongoing bans. So it's not like you could get banned in normal casual mode and then go into rank.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, so I'm cool with the requirements. I meet all the requirements, but then it's like you're only going to do it on the weekends. Like that doesn't help me at all, And I know I'm probably a minority in that situation, but it just sucks, like in that for that. I might have to tell the wife, like, hey, I know we're supposed to do stuff this weekend, but like I want to play. I want to.
You just got to get the late night grind hours in, Beardy.
Right.
Well, so shout out to Aimless in the chat because he said, if you can't have rank mode and balance it throughout the week, sounds like bad development, right? Like I'll be honest, it is a little like confusing to me to understand that you're gonna try and balance and try to get all this data, but only have it open for a short frame. And I saw somebody on Twitter said they already tried this with a 5-man stack a few months ago and it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of a fair point too, but it wasn't exactly the same thing.
The player base was a lot smaller at that time. Player base is bigger. I think their whole point is they're cracking the door open to make sure that the casual mode right now doesn't suffer with queue times and stuff like that. Like we're gonna open it because once they open that door that weekend, it's gonna be like floodgates going to ranked, right? And they need to see what the casual queue times and where they're gonna be at. If they're gonna suffer, then we can't, like, they got to figure out what they're going to do with that. That's why it's only for the weekend. I get why they're doing it. It makes sense.
Like peak times.
So I don't agree with Aimless. Aimless is a great guy. All right. Love the guy, but sometimes he can be a little like, whoa. And it's like, dude, hold on. It's not like that. Calm down a minute.
Dang, bro. You just said Aimless can be a little aimless. I feel you.
But I agree with you, Bearded.
He's on Team Windu.
I think it's less to do with the balancing of the mode itself and more to do with balancing of the player base and potentially splitting it. Because if we're considering that in V18, we're going to get another game mode, and then sometime after that, we're going to get a permanent ranked mode, that is technically 3 game modes you're splitting a player base across, right? And that I could see being problematic. So after they have the 2, right? And I'm sure they're going to get some influx of players when the new game mode comes out in Brawl or whatever it's going to be called, right? They're going to have to do tests to see what diversifying it to a 3 game mode game looks like, right? And I think that would have to do more with the tests rather than the balancing of the game mode or the MMR or anything like that.
Yeah. And that's also, I mean, 3 game modes that us 5 here would sit here and contemplate playing. There's a 4th game mode that we don't know, and I know Ometa knows that you have AI right now. You have people that go in and play AI.
Forgot about that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, so like that is another mode itself that people might be playing right now. New players might be playing against AI matches to learn and understand the game a little bit better than instead of going right PvP. So we don't know how much of the player base is playing that. I'm assuming it's a very small number, but again, that's still a part of the player base is sitting over there playing that too. Like, so we got to take that into consideration as well. So that's 4 game modes that we potentially will be having when rank comes out, that we got to figure out how we're going to divide this up and make sure that queue times are not seriously affected to a point that's going to be a negative experience for people.
Yeah.
I have one concern about the ranked requirements, and it is the level. Level 30, I mean, it's a fair enough standpoint, but when you keep resetting the level every season, I'm worried rank's going to turn more into a race to 30, and then there's going to be the pack of guys who doesn't want to fight the sweats, and they're not going to race to 30, and then you're just going to have 2 segments in the rank, and I don't know. I mean, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I'm not sure, but that's what it's going to turn into. I'm not sure.
Don't take this level 30 as in that's going to be their level for every time. I think that's the initial institution of rank. We're bringing it in now. You got to be level 30 with our current setup, right? And they've had this. What it was when they went full release, right? No, not full release. Full release hasn't happened
Free to
yet.
play.
Open beta.
When they went free to play is when they did that last reset, right? So since free to play, you've had time to get up to level 30, right?
Yeah.
So you've had people. If you don't have level 30 by now, that just means you're not putting time in, or you're just new to the game. And if you're new to the game, you shouldn't be playing ranked right now, right?
And I think
So,
Ritterific said it in chat too, but I think for the most part, the full level resets are gonna go away
I
because
wasn't
those
sure
were
if it
part
was-
Yeah, I
of the
agree.
seasonal kind of stuff, and we're
Yeah.
not in a season right now.
That's true. They did
haven't
kind of stop
really made
seasons.
this free to play season a thing, right?
Yep.
And so I wonder if they're going to do either softer resets and that you're only going to lose 20 levels at a time or something every season, or if they're just going to stop doing
think
resets across the
At
board.
least like
I could see
soft
them
cap, you
resetting
had
you back
30
to
if
30.
you hit 30 before, I think. So
Yeah.
you don't have to grind for it.
Fair.
If you hit
Uh,
30,
Windu,
you, get like
you
a
wanted
ranked
to say
token.
something?
Yeah. So shout out to Lekron in the chat, longtime supporter by the way. But so he made a
Shout out
joke.
Macron.
Yeah, he made a joke. He was like, "Yo, easy, just re-release it on console and get another 700,000 players. That's how you fix the problem." But here's the thing, real talk. Going from open beta to full release is a re-release on systems. That is a huge influx of players. That is a difference between just being on the open beta list to now being front page and be like, hey, finished product, come play it.
Yep.
So real talk, that
Well-
is a re-release waiting to happen.
And-
that could still
and
bring in a
also-
lot.
Also, the way it's set up on Xbox right now, from when we talked to Robbie 2 weeks ago, it's not even like easy to find. You got to know where you're looking to find it on Xbox. So,
Yeah, like it doesn't just
it's-
show up on the store on Xbox. You have to search for Predecessor for it to show
Yeah,
up.
you have to know where you're looking to get that stuff. So it's not like it's on a free to play tab that that people will go look for. It's got to it's because it's in beta or whatever. It doesn't do that. So when they do go full release, it's going to go onto that tab, and then we're going to have a huge influx of Xbox players coming in. So yeah, that'll be great as well. But so yeah, I get he's joking, but it is true in that situation.
Yeah.
That's why episodes back, I've always differed the difference between a full release and a free to play. Like those two are not, they can be the same. You could do a full release and free to play at the same time, but they don't have to be one and the same. You can do a free to play and a full release completely differently. All right. So speaking of the consoles and Xbox and console release, Crypto, you're a console player yourself.
I am indeed.
What console do you play on?
PlayStation.
You play on PlayStation. All right.
I do.
4 or
One and
5?
only. Got it. Yeah, we play at 4 or
PlayStation
5.
gaming. I
Which
see
one?
Wally over there. He's
Yeah,
Are
you
you-
playing on PS4 or
I
PS5?
play on,
Which one you
I
playing
play
on?
on PC.
PS4 currently.
All right. Okay.
Oh,
Now
PS4 player, no less.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh wow.
I do
The
have
Worst
to
worst
kind
OG.
of console player right there.
My boy Medkit's rolling around right now, itching because we haven't asked you yet. Who was your favorite player to play? Did you play a regular player Paragon?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, who was your favorite player to play then?
Well, I kind of
Play
had
hero.
two.
All right, well,
My
okay, give me the
favorite-
two.
My favorite hero starting out was Kalari back in the Harvester days.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah, all respect. I take back everything I said about PS4 players.
Oh
Back
my
in the
God.
Harvester days. But then when they changed the map, took Harvesters away, I really didn't feel like relearning the jungle, so I just went to Narbash and kind of Narbashed out the rest of Paragon, I'm not going to lie. But
Okay,
there's
all
something
right,
so
all right.
satisfying about a thunk. I can't.
Okay, now who is your least favorite hero to go against?
I hate to say it. There's different phases, as every MOBA has in the metas.
Glory.
Busted Iggy was easily the worst. Busted Iggy, I just don't think he can. When I couldn't, and right after Countess dropped, I remember being
You're talking about Tank
pretty
Iggy.
upset. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
10 giggy.
like
Yep.
peak
Okay.
Iggy, and right when Countess dropped, I hated both of those times. I don't know. I was not having fun.
Okay, all right. So
But I said real quick, let's ask
Uh,
Wally and Jelly the same question real
Yeah.
quick, just because some of these people, a lot of people are new to the community. They
we
haven't,
don't
they
need
don't
to ask
actually
Jill.
know.
We've already seen how excited about Kalari, and we don't care about Kalari.
Well, we can ask him, but then I can
I
mute
mean,
him when he
answer
says
for
it.
him.
All right, there you go. That sounds good. Sounds good. All right, Wally, what do you got? Your favorite hero and OG Paragon when you played?
OG Paragon. Honestly, it was probably Fang Mao until Shinbi dropped. And actually, it wasn't Shinbi until I got kicked to the off lane and I had to play something fun over there.
Okay, least favorite hero to go against.
Like in OG Paragon or now?
OG Paragon.
Still OG Paragon. That's actually I didn't honestly not nobody except like maybe Morrigesh when she first dropped. I hate her now still, but that was the only one I remember her dropping and her coming in being a support in the duo lane and obviously being an off laner versus the 2v1. It was just actually like cancer. I just hated it so much.
All
It
right.
was actually unplayable. Anyway.
Okay. Jelly.
I mean, so my favorite hero in Paragon was
Oh, we lost you.
Jelly, I love you, bro. No, you're doing it on purpose because I said I was gonna mute him. You're amazing, bro. Never change.
100% Kalari mains Rise Up, best character in the game. Can't change my mind. After Kalari, I would say Feng Mao actually as well, which he was one that I gravitated to. But worst to go against, I mean, I think I'd be doing disrespect if I didn't say release Wukong was a problem. As much as I agree with
Wasn't
release
every
Morrigesh,
Wukong a problem?
Right,
That's
release
why he got
Wukong,
every-
middle Wukong, before he got removed
How many
Wukong.
times?
Yeah.
How many
Ban
times?
Wukong. But yeah, I think he was just a scourge on my sanity at the time. And Ridderific actually in chat brings up Aurora as well. Also another one that just like, dear God, help me. I still hate Aurora. Like, I still have very strong feelings about Aurora and Paragon.
I used to
And like,
love Aurora.
can't wait for those feelings to be revalidated when she comes to Pred. Like, I just can't do it.
Since I moved away from being ADC all the time, like my hate for Kalari has diminished by like 0.005%. So it's not as bad. My hate now is for like Shinbi and like Feng Mao for all their dashes they have. It's like there's no point of even trying to engage with either one of them because they just have the scared mentality. Oh, we can run. Let's run. I'm like, okay. Like, what's the point of this? Like, I don't like. So and it's like even CC doesn't affect you any because you stopped them for one of their dashes. They still got 4 more. Like,
Yep.
like, what's the point? Like, you don't even use your kit on them. Yeah. So I can't stand Shinbi. But I still think Kalari is like you said. I can't change your mind about her being the best hero in the game. I can change your mind, but if we just take her out of the game, she can't be the best hero in the game.
She's still the best one in the game. Sorry. The fact that she was in it ever means she was the best.
I think Kalari's a lot less oppressive now, considering you can't just teleport
Yeah.
across the map and just
Yes.
absolutely
That
annihilate
is
somebody in like
very
2 minutes.
helpful.
I
Very
will say.
helpful, and I also
Also-
love that she's camouflaged and not invisible, so you can see her
yeah.
once she's in a certain radius. Like I'm all about that. People, there was somebody I said it before, and I'll say it real quick. They're saying, "Oh, bring it back. This is unfair that they're able to see you." I'm like, you're able to do so much damage coming out of that. Like, I don't want to hear it. Like, you have no room to talk in that situation.
As a Kalari player back in them days, I do just miss teleporting across the map and absolutely deleting
It was
somebody
fun.
before they even know I'm there. It was something.
You see that
Also-
low health bar across the map, and it's like it's the best. It's the feeling Murdoch mains get, but
Yeah,
just on a whole
but
different level,
you
man.
get to be there to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brett, play
yours is a
Muriel.
lock-on guaranteed hit. Like,
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Murdoch's is not a
you still
guaranteed
have-
situation.
You still have to
sitting
hit that dagger in those autos. That's all.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So console though. So Crypto, you bring us up to you even learning about Predecessor when you're not even able to play it. Like how long have you been following any of these para zombies to know what's going on? Been waiting to play on PlayStation? Like what's the information you got there?
I have followed since the day Paragon is shut down. It has been a long journey for me, I will say. I didn't have a PC when Paragon shut down. I now have this potato that I'm talking to you guys on. So I followed since the beginning, since Core. I think is probably I watched some weird Core dev stream or something, and then I got more into it once you guys started doing the Fault partner panel and that kind of thing. And so I started playing Fault for a while. Sadly, Fault shut down. I had to run Fault on 0 textures. It was so sad, but at least I got to play. But
All right.
anyways, I played some of the early access, and then I was so excited whenever it finally came to PlayStation because I can actually see what the game's supposed to look like and run it decently well, even though I'm on PS4. Everybody's coming at me, but
I said I got a PS5. If you know,
hey,
Bro, I got it on my PlayStation. It's actually it runs super smooth and it's incredibly fun to just sit back, sit on the couch, Play a
I will
game of
say it's pretty
Predecessor. It's honestly really fun.
hmm
Definitely not the same as mouse and key though. I'm gonna throw that one out there.
Although-
but
It is not without
Definitely
its
fun.
faults, I will say. At
See
the
what
end
you
of the
did there.
day, if I had a nice not potato PC, I would probably prefer to play on PC just as the game stands now. I think there are some UI changes that could be big as far as console goes that need to be made for sure, especially controller mapping. That all it's got to change. It can't be 2 buttons. I can't tell you how many times I
Isn't
tried
there
to just
isn't there
level-
another layout you can change?
it's
to?
like there
They
are
have-
2 layouts.
There are 2
Yeah,
layouts, but
you
in
can't
both
really
layouts they're
tweak
the
it.
same for the alt.
Okay,
Oh, really?
They're both
I didn't know that. I thought that
L1,
changed.
LB, RB. I mean, I don't know. I haven't changed my layout in a while.
I thought one
But
had
when they
face
first-
buttons as abilities and the other had trigger abilities.
I haven't changed my layout in a while, but when it first came out, I tried out both, and both of the alts were just the bumpers. Maybe that
Gotcha.
changed. I haven't changed it in a while. I don't know, but it frustrates me. I would just like to map my own controls. Oh my! Can we please not
Yeah.
bark, puppy? Oh. But
I
no.
will say if Pappy can map to an N64 controller, you should be able to map on a.
Of course he did.
Just straight up.
I
Like,
agree.
Yeah, bro.
I
Pappy's
agree.
straight on an N64 controller, hasn't mapped, and he explained these the mapping to us, and we're like, wait a minute, your health pot and your wards are the same button?
wasn't it something else too? Health pot, wards, and levels. So every time he levels,
Yeah,
he has to,
and
like,
the
ward
ability
his health pot.
unlock. So if he wants to upgrade an ability, he's using a health pot on the spot. It's like, what are you doing, Pappy? Like,
Sorry, Pappy, I'm giving out your secrets.
true. But he's
That's
playing with
crazy.
it. He's playing with it. Shout out
That's
to him.
crazy.
On an
Another thing
N64
is
like, hey,
controller.
I'm full
With the
health
claw.
right now, but I
Claw
have
grip.
2 level ups I could do right now. Which one do I do? Do I hold my level ups and wait?
Bro, I was in a game and I promise you, I watched it happen right in front of me. He's like, I got the ward. Blue health pot pops up. I'm like, this motherfucker actually has the map lightweight, bro. What the hell?
Pappy was in a recent sock cap short. I saw his name across the screen. He was playing. He was on his team. I was like, oh man, that was nice. It was with Aimless. Aimless was sock cap's support. So, but anyways, okay. So that's what you played it before. So you said you even played Fault. So you were able to play Fault on PC then.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So when you finally got into it on PS4, like you said, the graphics were tons better. Your biggest complaint was the controller layout. It's still the controller layout situation. How do you feel the game is for you when you first came into it? Matchmaking from a PlayStation guy, like you're playing, you're matchmaking, a huge increase of player base at this time. What are your thoughts?
I'll be honest, maybe it's my PlayStation pride. I enjoyed that even though crossplay, which I was happy about, it didn't feel like I was at a severe disadvantage, at least just for me, against PC players or any other platform, which felt really nice. However, I do feel like there is a lack of just skill-based matchmaking in general. I felt like there was guys that were running around with master skins when I first started, and there was guys that had no idea even how to play a MOBA all in the same lobby, and you just kind of felt like both teams, it was kind of RNG at that point, who won, who had the most like seasoned players and who had the most new guys, which I mean happens when you have random influxes of new guys, but
Right.
it's a little frustrating.
I will say that I've had those matches where those the prestige skin players, I saw that, and then I saw that same person running around like they didn't know what they were doing. So
I agree.
So, yeah,
you can
so-
play a lot and still suck. That's a thing that happens. But
Yeah.
I mean, at
So
least
you-
they know what the point of the game is instead of somebody that just like.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
they
I
can
don't
make
know.
it make you wonder, but
I don't know, Bearded.
I would
know
hope
you have
they have
some
an
rough
idea.
games.
That's a lot of games.
I've had some rough ones. All right, I've had some rough games. It's solo queue is like you see, especially
you-
down at my lower tier elo. Like you see some people, like you're like, what in the world is going on here? It gets rough.
I agree.
Okay, so it's going well for you.
One thing that does frustrate me, I have my chat off, only because PC people can type, and maybe it's hidden in the VGS somewhere, but I search and search, I can't find a way to type from console, so I just turn it off, because you know everybody has those games where somebody on your team's questioning you for something you're doing, whether it be good or not, and you want to type back, especially when somebody's hating on you, you want to type back. and the fact that I can't reply to them infuriates me to no end. So I just turn it off because I don't want to hear it, and I'll just listen to them ping 1,000 times on the map, other than reading for what they have to say.
Oh, I got a question. Now, this is what I used to do back in the PlayStation days, because back in original Paragon, you weren't able to type in chat either. But the moment you plugged in a keyboard, now you could. The moment the keyboard was recognized.
I don't like that. After Paragon shut down, I went to Smite for a while. And what's nice about Smite is within the VGS, you have a system, like you go into like talk or whatever, and they just have it on like a bumper, and then it'll pull up the keyboard and you can type right there from your controller. I mean, you have people who abuse it and sit and spawn all day, which is annoying, but it is nice that you can at least defend yourself against the bad teammate allegations.
You gotta get that keyboard adapter for your PS4 controller that you can just sit there and type on the keyboard. You just plugs right into that. You can still play and then use the keyboard.
Honestly, I can't remap my controls. I'm not so sure we could do that right now. I haven't tried it.
That is true. That is true. I do hope that they're gonna have the ability for you to map your controls. I know that's something that we're asking even on PC players. We're asking to be able to map individual heroes. Like we like some people want to have Shinbi's Q be her E, or whatever, like whatever it might be like, and they want her RMB to be her Q or something. I don't know what it is. I just know they want they want it to be that for Shinbi, but then they want for Richter, they want it to be whatever. So they want stuff like that. So if they
listen, I have a good example.
Please get customization for sensitivity on melee heroes and ranged heroes. At least, nice. Please, because I prefer to play them at 2 different sensitivities entirely. And having to switch them every game, or if I don't remember and then switching characters sucks.
So I actually started on PC with the controller. Soul Reaper, due to peer pressure, unfortunately, has got me on a mouse and key, and I use his controls, and his right mouse button is actually R. So I would love to be able to take Argus R or Argus R and B, remove it from R, and I do it every game we play with dude. I don't know if you noticed, but I will switch it and put it on my mouse instead, because it is insane trying to hit my R and hold it.
Bro, you dead ass are using his keybinds?
Mm-hmm. I use Soul
Lord, bro.
Honestly, it's the only set of keybinds.
I question him on that shit all the time, bro. I'm like, son, how can you even? What do you use a spacebar for? What the?
Seriously.
Like, son.
Easy. That's easy.
Doesn't he like turn his like keyboard sideways or something?
Hey, look, he told me 33 degrees. Mine's at a smooth 12.
I mean, I play with my keyboard at an angle too, but I definitely don't ult with the spacebar, bro. Like I have more FPS keybinds, like the traditional, and I just keep it. My problem is, till this day, sometimes I'll be like reload with R. Fuck, I'm kidding.
Coming from console, I'm used to playing with a controller. So coming from console, that WASD was very weird to me, and so I got the WASD down. But like the R just felt like a crazy stretch. So I got to the point that I put because I play on the Orb Weaver, so it only has so many buttons, right? So the N, there's no N on it. So my mouse has the N button, so that's my alt. So my alt is N and my R stays as R or whatever, because the R is on the Orb Weaver. So I just saw people like, wait, your ultimate's R? I'm like, yeah, it's a mouse button. It just makes it easier. I don't have to worry about it. It's not that weird crazy stretch with your finger, because it just seems weird, because it's straight up is your Q, but then now it's up and over to get to the R. It's like I don't have long fingers apparently, because it feels weird to me.
I definitely prefer R2. Maybe it's just a console guy thing. I don't know, but it is easier for me as well. Or controller guy.
I guess I'm always jumping, and it's just my thumb is always on spacebar, ready to go if I need it.
But you're hitting R with your thumb?
Nah, I hit R with index, which is not a hard stretch, because I'm jumping with F. Get it, jump up with R.
I don't think it's that bad.
No. I need to figure out a spot for my spray though. It's on T. It's a little far.
Y'all are wild with these keybinds.
Yeah, I can't.
Some people got too much freedom. I'm like, you did what? Nah, son.
My shop is actually H, because I was double clicking it a lot.
H. What
Yeah.
the? And T's too far? What?
Yo, I don't need to hit
Major
the
spot
shot
there,
in,
man.
in a
What?
fight.
He said auto open when I go back.
He doesn't
Problem
use a mouse.
solved.
He just plays keyboard.
Old school FPS keybinds right there. You gotta use the arrow keys to aim.
Yeah.
I have one more thing, especially that I feel like is a pretty big hassle when it comes to console,
What's that?
and it's the shop. Just the way the shop is in general.
yeah.
I think when they first dropped, you could have a cursor, and that was nice. Now I mean, I like the D-pad system, but it's not only a D-pad system. There's like, if you want to sell something, they have like, I get the idea behind it. It's quicker to hit like square or whatever to go down to your inventory and you can sell it. But I don't know if it's just me, but I've just experienced so much jankiness trying to use the hawk commands. Like I searched an item and then the search bar just broke for me entirely. The rest of the game, I couldn't search anything and I had no choice but to buy recommended for the rest of the game. And it was just infuriating. And
Dang.
honestly, even if you just take away the hotkeys and let me D-pad through everything and just like tab over, the tabs are fine. But I'd hate the hawk commands. I don't know, just for different segments of the screen. Just let me scroll around. I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but either or maybe just fix it. I don't know. But every time I try to use like the quick commands, everything freezes up and gets all weird. And I don't know. A couple seconds means a lot when you're trying to rush back to lane. That's all
Yeah,
I
it does.
infuriating.
Oh, 100%. Well, I think another thing that's going to fix that, it's more of a band-aid fix, but it's still also a good fix because it's a quality of life thing, would be getting pre-builds into the game.
Mhm.
So you can go into the game with a pre-build, you can just have that as your, automatic buy or whatever, and you can set that up. That's going to be something that's going to eliminate your issues you have there. But you're not always going to want to use pre-builds either. So, but like something like that would be very beneficial. But I do agree.
I
need
like
something like that.
the idea of pre-builds, especially for new players, because we have the item screen, but let's be honest, what new players going down and writing notes on every single item. But at least if they're making a pre-build, they're actually looking through the items and knowing what they're going to
Yeah.
do, and it leads to a little bit more discovery. Meanwhile, if you know what's there and you're still struggling to get to it, you're not going to find any new items during game with the
Mhm.
Right.
like weird shop. So I think
What-
even pre-builds at all would be nice just for people to learn the item system at all,
Mhm.
which I think it's nice.
There are two things on that like I think would be super helpful for console players for one and then new players for another. For console players, it's just a new in-game UI, right? The ability side of it is fine, right? In terms of the UI, but the shop was built with the original tests in mind and not with console in mind and hasn't been updated since then. So I think would be a huge quality of life thing. And I think in-game UI in general needs help. But the other thing is game like Dota, right? You can actually import builds that other users have made while you're
With a
in
code.
game, right? When you open the store, it pops up and like select
Yeah.
a build and then it
Yeah.
pulls all the items in, right? And I think using a Meta City as the example, if they did some kind of integration with a Meta City and pulled up the top 10 most liked builds for that hero on the current patch,
Yeah.
right,
Automatically.
that would be huge. Being able to just select that one. And even if that turns into an auto buy for that build, right? Just
Or
being able to
just- yeah.
select like a current relevant build based
Ye-
off of user feedback and all of that kind of stuff, I think would be huge.
Implement it into like the popular recommended tab or something. Even that
Yeah.
would be pretty huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Instead
there
of
we
the same recommended being there for the last year, when no matter what changes. I don't
And
know.
even like I recently discovered, and I don't know how long this has been there, it's probably been there the whole time, but Ometa City has statistics on what items are being built when for each
Mhm.
Yeah.
hero, right?
The
Yeah,
time that you
yeah.
build them, it'll tell
Yeah.
you
It has
like
wins,
the
it's based
win
on
rate, the
value,
pick
yeah.
rate. Yep.
Yeah, when I found it the other day, I was blown away, right? I was kind of mad at myself that I didn't know it existed prior. But seeing that, even if you just integrated that like they just pull the first two slots out of each of those things from Ometa City and made that the recommended, I think could also be huge too.
go. So crypto, how is it like dealing with well, you are talking about like the shot bug, like the bar going away, but like let's
Mhm.
say a crash. Like how is it like with the game crashing? How is it getting back into a game? Can you get back into a game? Like what are the issues you're dealing
PS4
with there?
specifically, it is so bad. How the load times on a PS4, I tell you what, it's terrible. Not so bad on
Oh.
a PS5. However, what is frustrating, like I said, I don't use I just stream straight off my PlayStation. So when I crash, I have to stop the stream and restart it, and that's a
Oof.
whole thing. Yeah. and I haven't had it in a little while, but there were a few weeks there, not just me, but a friend I also have that streams. He was having it on the PS5 as well, where just randomly, no reason, mid-game, it freezes and it never comes back, and you're left with no choice but to like just close app, restart stream, and hope you don't get a ban and you can get back in time. I think months ago I messaged Windu outraged. I was like, these guys need to talk about it, because I just kept getting crashes and the PS4 wouldn't load fast enough for me to not get a ban. So I just, like, even though I was doing my best to get back, I haven't had it in a while, as long as I can get back in time. But especially when it came to PlayStation just first, I was so fired up. I even messaged Windu. I was like, you guys need to fix this. I'm so tired of it, because I was doing my best to get back in the match after the game crashed. And I was still getting back. Hey,
You guys.
At least you're heard. I'm over here just ranting Reddit nonsense.
Crypto's the reason that my loading into games has been taking so long recently.
You know what? Everybody can share in my suffering.
I had a game yesterday that I legit thought was going to crash back to lobby because it took that long, and then suddenly I heard Shinbi's voice go off, and I was like, "What? Like, we're actually going in?"
Is that what that is when that happens? A PlayStation 4 player in there?
I mean, that's
Is that what it is?
I don't know, but it makes sense.
There's a lot of shots being
Put
fired.
a target on all PS4 players' backs, man. I'm gonna go into lobbies now. Who's the PS4 player? I don't want me to use in here.
Hey, or old gen Xbox. You know, I'm sure they're having just a rough time out there. I don't know.
So real quick, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that old gen Xbox is genuinely holding back the console generation, bro. Genuinely holding them back, bro. But go ahead.
That is true. Can't put Carter put in chat here, Crypto. To get the keyboard controls up, you hold circle and press up on the D-pad. It pulls up the chat keyboard on controller.
I thought there was a way. I didn't know how to, but there is.
You hold circle and press up on.
I was gonna tell you after.
Circle just like my. Okay, I mean, maybe I'll try it. My VGS is like right stick. I click it in.
I would say try it and test it, because that could be a total troll by all means, bro.
I don't know. I feel like
we're gonna see a chat ban on Crypto pretty quick.
Yeah, something with leveling up though. That's all I know. You have to be pressing a level up button. That's all I remember.
I've looked for it. I'm not. Like I said, it might be there, and I just missed it. But man,
you gotta
don't be a typer. Just play the game. Just click.
You gotta press level up, heal,
not a typer unless someone's
at the same time. You know, if you hit level up, a heal, and ward at the same time, that's how you get your keyboard to pop up.
Fair enough. I'll give it a go.
J Blow Escobar in chat says he just tried it in practice and it works.
All right.
Hey,
there you go.
There we go. Now I'm sure there were other guys out there also struggling, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have a random mid laner sitting there for 5 minutes going, F.
What have I done?
You send.
I
was about to say, just don't type on console. I'm with H.
Oh yeah.
All right. I want to talk about some videos that the community is doing right now, and we're gonna get into Jelly's video here shortly. But before that, we have a brand new partner for Predecessor, Shark. I'm sorry, I there's like 3 letters. I think it's like VHD or something like that.
Shark VXD.
Yeah,
ZXD. Sorry. Has been doing an amazing job of doing a cinematic, like third. What do you call it? Not third party. It's
third person.
Fan.
Yeah, fan film, like cinematic fan films.
Fan trailers.
Cinematic. Yeah. You know, these trailers. And he did one with the skins that we just got in this patch, 17.3 with the rogue skins. Mm-hmm. He did a rogue one, and it was a great job. Like all of his videos he's done so far, in my opinion, are a great job. So I really enjoyed all of them. So I want to talk about that. Have you guys seen any of his stuff? Have you guys watched that?
Yeah,
I'd love to play it on stream for a second.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'd love to play it on stream for a second with audio.
Yeah, they're pretty short.
Yeah. But
he's gonna copyright strike you.
Imagine. Oof. let him have it, bro. He deserves it. He's growing. But yeah, I just major shout out here to him, because he's been making videos for a long time. For those of you that do know about Shark, and seeing him get the recognition he's getting, growing on subscribers and stuff like that, that's major props. But here we go.
Staring at me is not a good idea. No escape.
May my arrows fly swift and true. Last shot.
I know how this ends. It'll be quick. Like falling asleep.
Let's be off.
Death sentence ready. None will escape. Nowhere is safe from me. Here I come.
Come on then.
Into the dark. Who is next?
Watch this.
I'm just getting started with you. Death is here. Another one.
Oh, go on, move around. Critical death challenging at least. Bullseye. Arrows well spent.
Absolutely killed that shit.
Yep.
That's so much
Yeah.
work.
Like, you know how many people
Good
I
job,
saw
man.
writing comments and stuff? It's like, this is a better trailer than Predecessor made, bro.
Really?
Like, what?
Yeah.
They should just hire him at this point. I don't know. Like,
For real.
I'm blown away every time I see something he puts out. It's just amazing.
I just love seeing the community be able to do stuff like this, because we have Shark doing these cinematic trailers. Then we also had that one that was introduced with the PCC
Volume.
volume. Thank you.
Was it
That-
me?
Oh my gosh, that was awesome.
Yeah, between
You
the
know?
two of them, they are insane, right? Like
Yeah.
I remember having a conversation with Volume after he put out his Muriel trailer. I think it was one of his first ones, right? And like even since then, in a year and a half, like he's gone like, leagues and bounds above that, and like just constantly getting better. So props to both of them for sure.
Yep, great job.
So
So I
good.
wanted to give a shout out to him for doing these, because he's got a few of them. So go check him out. Again, that's Shark ZXD. You can find him on YouTube. He's got
And Twitter.
6 of them, I think. Yeah, on Twitter. Yeah, check him out. You know, give him a follow there as well.
But it's like, he did release a new one. They mentioned it in the chat. He literally released a new one today. If you want me to play
Perfect.
that one real quick, I could
Let's
give
go.
him the little shout out.
No, actually, let's not.
Go
Let's
watch
force
it
people to do
yourselves.
Everybody else
Go watch
Yeah.
it yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's give him that situation. Go. You know, we showed
Give
the
him some
video.
traffic.
You guys saw how great it was. Go follow him on YouTube. Go give him, give him some love over there. Subscribe to him on YouTube. So great job. Speaking of YouTube, Jelly, I haven't seen you stream in a while. I haven't seen you. You're active on Twitter. Whenever Windu puts a post, you're there to give him shit.
Because
So
for
I love
whatever
seeing
reason,
that.
I get
I love
notified
seeing
about
that.
Windows posts. I don't get notified about anything else. So sometimes I'll see it and I'll ignore it. And then that's most of the time, honestly. But then sometimes he puts out a post that like, I'm like, I've got something clever to say on this.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the Twitter mentality that you need. So
Hey, bro.
But then my phone,
When the
my phone
algorithm
said,
knows
"Hey."
you're a fan, am I right? Am I right?
My phone's like recommended me a YouTube video. I looked at it. I'm like, Jelly got a video out? Let's watch. And I watched it, and you did a fucking amazing job.
Appreciate it.
I love how you, and I said it in the comment, but I also will tell you here and let everybody else hear. I love how you tied together updating people on the patch with what 17.3 was. Like, this is all the stuff we're bringing into it, but you also added a tier list into it. So it makes the balance patches have more meat to them, than it just being words, right? The way you did it, the way you laid it out is great in my opinion, because it allows people to understand, at least from your opinion, what this nerf or this buff or this tweak, might be doing to this hero, and where it kind of puts them in that situation, and kind of where they were before and where they brought down to, or where they got put up to, so I love the way you laid it out. So if you want to talk about that a little bit, and then we can not show it to people because it's a little lengthy video, but we can point them to it, and I will get the link to it right now, and I'll put it in chat so people can see it.
No, I appreciate it. Right. That's something that, looking at content for other big games, right? This is something that's very similar that you see from a lot of the like quote unquote educational channels, right? Is talking about patch notes in a way that isn't reading the screen and is more tied to what most people know, right? The in-game characters, the abilities they know, and how a change relates to that, rather than just the change itself, right? And so I was trying to make that accessible and digestible to a lot of people. I know, like for me especially, I've been the guy who's made 30-minute videos out of a single image, right? So I get that that's something that people can do, but going toward the other, for lack of a better way to put it, more casual audience, right? And just creating something that they can either watch it or they can just listen to it. One way or the other, they're gonna get the information that's relevant to them and their heroes, right? And part of the reason I used 17.3 as that kind of like the reason to put out the video was to get it down and get the format better and my process better dialed in before the huge patch of V18 comes out in a couple weeks. That way, when that patch drops, I can get that workflow going and drop that as quickly as possible for people to get as much information out there for them, but also, of course, capitalize it on for myself too.
Okay. I love what you did with Windows got it here on the screen. I love how you put a visual representation. You didn't just say, hey, Narbash is still S tier or whatever it might be. You put a visual representation of your tier list and who you have there. So even if they weren't even messed with the balance patch, it still let people know, hey, even though Sparrow wasn't, my bad. So let me think of a hero that wasn't touched in the balance patch. Kalari, even though Kalari wasn't touched in the balance patch, you still put Kalari in this tier. Right, so you still see every hero that in where they're at, where you put them, and obviously tier lists are opinionated anyways, but it still kind of gives people an idea of where this hero might fall. And especially with we getting this new influx of players, with console or whatever's going on, with being a free to play game, they get to see. I get people ask me, hey, who's good to play for support right now? Okay, well, I'll give you these are the heroes I feel that are good, and so this kind of gives that to that. So I love what you did here. It was a great job.
I appreciate it. And like there are some heroes that are missing, right? Like this time around just tried to keep to what Predecessor says goes to which lane for the most part. There are a couple people that transitioned over, but like Countess isn't listed in the jungle. Shinbi's not listed in the jungle, right? These are the ones that like they'll come into future tier lists that I make for sure. But again, trying to kind of solidify the process on this. And also I think my goal with these videos, because I plan to do more of them going forward, is to create kind of a progression of this tier list, right? It's not going to change fundamentally from 17.3 to 18 unless there's a reason to change fundamentally, right? If Shinbi didn't get touched between 17.3 and 18, for instance, right, the likelihood that she's going to move places is not very high. I'm not recreating it from scratch every single time.
Right.
It's going to be a progression of she got tweaked or buffed, nerfed, or tweaked. Now she's going to either go up, down, or stay the same and kind of be realized as part of that in these tier lists.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a thought there and I lost it for a second.
And his videos are going to get spicier, guaranteed.
Yeah, they are.
Nah, this is a really good video. Really
I've got some ideas for
sure.
I think the visual representation behind videos like this are really nice, right?
Yeah.
Like it's easily digested. It's pleasing to the eye. Like a lot of times people just want to see something as simple as that in the corner. Like Faye buff, I'm not even reading it. I know it's a Faye buff, lit.
And that's perspectives are awesome. Like that Morgesh clip that you had there in a little bit, when you're up over top, just watching it come up and stab somebody.
Oh, yes. Honestly,
it's so hard.
That was inspired by the like Shark ZXD and volumes that like when I was in the replay editor taking that and I saw that, I was like, I have to do this, right? Like there's no way I'm just going to set this from Morgesh's perspective. Right. And so I hope I'm going to do more of that, but it is more work. And so it's balancing that out.
That's like a site you're just mad that you got stabbed by a Morgesh in game, but you don't appreciate how nice it actually looks until you take a step back there and replay.
Yep. What I was going to say, you were talking about heroes not being represented in certain roles, even though they are played there. Steel's one of those. Ironically, he's not in the jungle. So when I've been playing a lot of jungle, I have to click off lane to get him to pop up, or support to get him to pop up, so I can click on him to play him as a jungler, even though he's a pretty good jungler. Like he's very well played there. So I thought it was very weird for him to not to be there. I was like, where's Steel? I'm like, I thought somebody picked him. I'm like, no, he wasn't picked. Like, click off lane. Oh yeah, he's okay. I can play him here, but so I thought it was very weird. So yeah, very interesting. So I get what you're
That's
saying.
because they don't want those new beginner players playing Sky Splitter Steel and be like, "What am I doing wrong?"
Hey man, they just took him with the Joey builds, you know.
Right?
Joey builds don't miss.
They don't.
But new players do.
And so does Windu. So
Got
you know,
that
he set himself up for that one. Sorry, like.
Oh man.
Windu new player confirmed. Got it. So, but yeah, no. Again, I can't wait to see your other videos when you keep this going. And I'm gonna say this in the nicest way possible because I know you were a supporter of the other pair of zombies as well. And so that you kind of were divvying up your time between that. So I think this is a plus that Predecessor gets with the other games not being active anymore. The other content creators that were making content for the other games, they can now focus on this game. So I'm excited to see where you go forward, you know, and you're not having to split up all your editing time between 3 games, 2 games, whatever. You're like, hey, I can focus. This is the game I'm playing right now. This is what I'm going to focus on.
That's a big win for Predecessor. Like, having that availability and getting creators to focus on their game. That's a big win.
I mean, honestly, I spent before even 17.3, the notes went out. I spent probably 2 weeks or so working on the graphics, making sure they're how I wanted them to be. And then even in the editor, kind of prepping everything so that when the patch dropped, I could try as quickly as possible to kind of fit things in and get that video out as fast as possible. Right. Because I think I had this out close to 24 hours after the patch notes dropped. And so that's, I hope to stick to that cadence, right? As patch size permitting. But it's trying to figure out how more creators, like you said, can spend their time planning for this rather than trying to plan, I'm doing Predecessor content, I'm doing PTO content, I'm doing whatever, right, on the side.
Exactly. Yep. So again, like what I didn't want to sound like I was bashing the other games or bashing you playing the other games or making it look like you were a PTO fanboy by any means. I'm just happy that you're able to now focus on one, and I'm excited to see where your content goes and grows from there. I mean, because this is, to me, I could be wrong, but this is your first video since that only Predecessor being the only one, and you've already done a great job. So you're just going to keep getting better. So I'm excited to see where you go.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, and I crossed the 1,000 subscriber milestone actually with this video, which is nice to watch.
Congrats!
So
partnership.
I did post that link. I will post it again for anybody who missed it. Again, that link I just posted in chat, that is Jellies. So let's get them even farther from that 1,000 for those people who want to, unfollow, because you got people that do that occasionally.
Dude, it's weird.
Yeah. So let's get them above that threshold so we can't drop below it. All right. So, and then
I to say the adjusting of the fan base is a real thing. He's definitely going to go through that for a little bit. But you got this, bro.
Is Shark 992? Is that Shark ZXD?
I don't know. Because, it's not like the word shark is uncommon or like,
right. That's what I'm asking. Shark, if that's you in chat, let us know. Because I want to know.
Whether it is or not now, he's going to be like, oh, yeah, that's me.
That's me.
Right.
That's
like, now we don't know.
That's true,
I made that.
I need a DM on Twitter. Shark was DMing me earlier on Twitter. Send me a DM and be like, it's me. Be like, okay, bad.
Yep.
I will say what you guys are talking about all the pair zombies and different audiences for different games and that kind of thing. As sad as it was to see the rest of the games die, I mean, whether you liked it, but I mean, everybody probably had a favorite, whether it was Predecessor, whether it was Overprime. Mine was Fault for a while, but I am happy that now we're finally on one, and everybody can, whether they like it or not, we're all here together, and we can. Yeah. We got one thing to focus on and be friends about, whether we like it or not. I'm happy about that.
That's a weird way to put it, but so true. Be like, hey, you don't got a choice. We're gaming together now.
The small community it's not divided anymore, or at least a slightly larger small community, and I appreciate that.
And I just went to Shark's YouTube. Shark is at 912 subscribers, and I just posted his link in chat. So let's get him up above that 1,000 subscribers part as well. So
matter of fact, go to his last video and just comment Predcast sent me. Just so we can spam. Just so we can spam Shark's comment. I'm gonna have Shark's video pinned in the comments on YouTube. Just be like, yo, go comment Predcast sent me. He's gonna wake up and be like, the fuck is happening right now?
Right? So go do that. While we're talking about content, Wally, are you putting videos out or are you just streaming?
I have mostly just been streaming, but I am
That's
looking to be a
Okay.
lot better about dropping you guys some stuff. More particularly shorts, probably some VODs, but stay tuned.
Perfect.
Spicy.
Now, you did say you streamed, but you didn't give us a schedule. What is your
Schedule.
What
That
are
is
you streaming?
that is a one thing that I need to figure out myself. No, this week really I started back
I feel
up,
that.
and 7/19 is actually my birth date, but that's pretty much what I look to stream. I'm looking to stream almost every single day now, so I may not always stream Pred. I might switch it up, keep me sane, right?
Right. Yeah.
Throw that
You
out
wanna
there,
burn
but,
yourself out.
Yeah, but I'll definitely probably be looking to be around 7/19 every single day. So
Okay. There you go. All right. So that's what me and Wendy will do our, what we do for console, but streaming or whatever at our outros. So I want to make sure we got a bit there. I think that is it. Besides actually talking about the patch, I don't want to go over patch like word for word what happened. I just want to know what are you guys' thoughts on the patch, the balance. What some of you guys can even pick a hero, say, hey, I like this, I didn't like this. You can do both. Take a hero you liked and pick a hero you didn't like. You didn't like the change or whatever. Let us know. I just want to know your guys' thoughts on the balance and what they did, and if you thought it was good, if you thought it was great, whatever. If you didn't like it at all, you think it was the worst patch they've ever released, let us know. And we'll go from there. So we'll start with Crypto. What are your thoughts on 17.3?
Well, I was excited for Grimm. I know there's a lot of divide between Grimm. I felt like he was a little less than what I expected on launch. There was
Yes.
a lot of guys picking up Grimm on my team that were just feeding. They couldn't figure it out, but now he got a little bit of love. I'm seeing that he's kind of coming back a little bit, and I like that for Grimm especially. I mean, I
Much
don't
better
like
spot.
dying to him, but I
For
hate
sure.
to look. I hate to see him just dug into a feeding hole that everybody hates. I don't like that, but so I'm happy he's like viable-ish feeling now. That's nice.
I really enjoyed his kit on release. I didn't like him on release.
Mhm.
I get he's a fridge, but I
Yeah.
felt like he was moving way too slow. It was so hard to even dodge a Richter hook, which is when it's
Yeah.
teleported to you. Like you didn't teleport it. It's telegraphed to you. Like it's coming, but you're sitting there, okay, I gotta move. Or even a Decker bomb. It's like, okay, I gotta move this. And it's like, nope, I'm not. I tried, but I can't move. Like there's nothing that's gonna get me out of the spot. So his movement speed now, they increase to that. Chef's kiss. I feel so much better playing as him now. And then also like they gave him that little armor buff too. Like his natural armor is a little bit stronger, so you're not just instantly dead when something happens to you. Like it's so much better. I get he's supposed to be an ADC, but again, he's also supposed to be a fridge. Like you can't just destroy a fridge with 2 shots. Like
Yeah.
like come on,
Yeah.
like you gotta take your time on
I
him.
think
So
they gave his bubble a little bit of a buff too,
Yep.
which I get. The
Mhm.
bubble's supposed to be
Yep.
a skill check. I think it was like 0.5 seconds or something that
Yeah.
they raised it. But 0.5 seconds at the end of the day does mean a lot whenever you're just a fraction of a second. I like that. I don't know. Maybe I won't like it once I get hit with a couple things I throw, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's good. I like that.
feels
I
like a
like
good
the increase to that. It was a good change because I think the thing about the bubble, it's still a skill, right? It's
Yeah.
not like that timing still a skill, and plus the cooldown on that, it makes it to where like even if you made it a whole 2 seconds long, the bubble stays up. That's the cooldown time. You're all right, fine. Because I think the way it was in Fault, and I don't know my timings here yet, but like in Fault, if you use the bubble on Grimm to stop a Richter hook, Richter's hook would be back up before you got your bubble back.
Mhm.
So you can
Yeah.
only stop one. So good luck. So you got to figure what you're gonna do with the next time, but you can only stop one
Hope
hook.
you dodge.
So I don't know if the timing, how that fits in Pred yet. I haven't been able
I
to
don't know.
see
I think
that
it's
or know those
still
numbers,
similar. It's a little bit before. I think the cooldown. I had to look at it, but
but right.
I think if Richter, off cooldown, he's faster, but it's
Yeah.
only by a second or two. So if you're playing
okay.
around that cooldown, then you can be safer with it.
So I've been seeing my guy Chalk in chat. He told me I'm coming on here. This is his words, not mine. He says, buff Richter all day, every day. He wants to play him in every lane. This,
Oh my
this is
God.
sometimes they-
That sounds
I will
like
say
These are
Pepsi.
not my words.
I actually used
These
to
are
play
not my
Richter
words.
a lot. I like where he's at right now.
I agree. I think he's in
I
a good
actually like
spot,
where
but
he's
this is
at right
coming
now.
from a Richter main back in the
Yeah.
Predators, and I gotta say, they're a
I
different
do
breed.
miss him out in the off lane. He was
There
definitely
he
a
is.
bully
Let's
for a
go.
little bit,
I knew it.
but I like where he's at now.
I promised him I'd sneak it in.
There are
No, I
people
think
who
the-
want it, buddy. There are people who want him back. But
I think the Grim changes were really subtle, but in the best ways. That it didn't crazy overtune him after his kind
Yep.
of lackluster release, but
Mhm.
it did just enough to make him actually playable. Right? He still has the problem of if you barrel stuff him, he kind of suffers compared to other carries. But generally, like that, you wouldn't think 10 movement speed would have been enough to make a difference, but it absolutely does. You wouldn't have thought half a second on his shield would have made a difference, but it absolutely
It
does.
does.
Right.
Yep.
And they made a lot of those kind of changes across his kit. And I think it put him in a much better spot. I still don't think he's great, but he's definitely better than he was on release.
I think the
Yep,
best
I
thing this
agree.
patch gave us was the skins, honestly.
Okay.
I don't know. That Shinbi
I
skin
think
is
I'm
whack.
divided.
That
I'm
Shinbi
not-
skin is pretty whack. I like the idea of the variants though. that they-
I
know-
think it's
they
hilarious.
introduced.
I didn't look at the Shinbi skin. I think it's hilarious though because one of the partners that's been asking for a Shinbi skin, Kyoko, has been asking for a Shinbi skin like from day one. Come on, give me a Shinbi skin, give me a Shinbi skin, you know. And then he finally gets one. He's like, when I first saw it, I thought it was a diaper.
Mhm.
And then now on Facebook, on Reddit, on everywhere, I'm seeing people to reference the Shinbi skin as a diaper, and I'm like, damn, that's rough. Like, all right, you know. But again, you know, hey, she's got 4 dashes. That is, she needs to wear a diaper. She just runs away and scared to be in a fight anyway. So I'm okay with it.
Just
I
give her
was-
pants, dog. Just give her pants. She doesn't need her legs showing all the time.
Mhm.
Please.
I'm biding my time for the undertow skins. That's all I
Yes.
know. I don't know. It's
Those
just,
are
I
gonna
just
be
feel
nice.
like
Yeah. Do you have a
like-
favorite of the concept arts that were shown?
oh, I'm trying to think, but I want to say the shark. I want to say
The
That's
rampage.
Zaris,
yeah,
isn't
the
it?
rampage.
No, Rampage
Oh,
is sharp.
Yeah, I think right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember looking at it and I'm like,
Grux
yes,
is
finally.
turtle.
Turtle.
Yeah. I actually really like the Grux skin.
Turtle
Yeah,
Grux.
is my
I
favorite.
didn't like
yep.
the Grux at first, but the more I look at it, the more I'm won over. But
Yeah.
first glance, Rampage got me. I feel like I don't know.
What
There's
was
just so much
Richter?
hope behind the undertow skins that I feel like there's gonna be more. I don't know.
Richter was in that too, wasn't he? What was he in that?
I
Sure.
don't think Richter was. It was Zaris, Fang Mao.
Oh,
Grux
it
and
was Fame,
Rampage.
not
Yeah.
Richter.
I will
And
say,
then
I
we're
thought
assuming
Fang
Gideon
Mao's was,
Undertow's
like,
coming too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had the least impact. Oh, Gideon. Oh, yeah. We know Gideon, bro. He's
Yeah.
coming too.
Speaking of Fang Mao, I had a question for you, Fang Mao enjoyers that spoke up
Oh,
earlier
no.
when you were talking about Fang Mao. Just from early, like
Ollie.
Paragon to Fang Mao and Predecessor. How do you feel about? I don't know. There's something about his swinging animation that feels less satisfying to me. I
Oh.
don't know.
It's because
You know what I'm
helicopter
talking
Fang Mao
about?
isn't a thing anymore, bro.
Yeah.
Is
yeah.
it?
It's 'cause his
just like
animation
autos,
resets.
just
Yeah,
his
yeah,
autos. Yeah. I
Where
don't know. There was just
before,
something
it
so
was
satisfying in
fluid.
Paragon. You felt like you were just absolutely chopping people down. And I don't get that
Yeah.
feeling anymore, and that's why I don't like playing Fang Mao now.
I would say
played
it's-
Fang
it's
Mao and I
more
felt like I was
straightforward.
swinging a wet noodle. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
This is
I
not
don't know.
fun.
There's something
I'm
less
like,
satisfying, which I don't know. It's led me
I
to
get-
not want to play Fang Mao.
I 1,000% admit it's me because I can go up against a Fang Mao and they'll
Oh, yeah, I
they
agree.
will destroy the shit out of me. Like, well, how the hell are you so strong? I play Fang Mao and it's like, is it what am I doing? Is it the items I'm building? What's going on? Why am I
Yeah.
not doing the damage that everybody else is doing with them?
I'm
I
in the
can't
same
do
boat.
that. I'm hitting buttons like they're hitting buttons, but I'm not doing anything. So I just don't play as them. So
I've been
I-
feeling
I'm
that
in
way
the
on
same
Chimera
boat.
recently, that I can't play Chimera for some reason the last couple days, and I just don't get what it is.
Because it's not Kalari. Confirmed.
I mean,
It's not
honestly,
Kalar.
kind of.
So, Crypto, I used to like the Bruiser Grux. They obviously got rid of that. But I think it's just he's number one, they're not like full half circles. It's very more like in front of you, which feels
Yeah.
Yeah,
weird.
it's linear
Um,
feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I think the range is still there. It just the cleave isn't there like it was
Yeah.
before. I think what makes it
Doesn't
feel
feel like
really
you're
bad.
actually swinging a glaive
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
But yeah, I mean, I think biggest thing I say about Fang Mao, and I think everybody would say this is he's ability based. Like you shouldn't really be swinging autos.
Yeah.
Like that's just how
I
it
just remember
feels.
back to my Paragon days. Some of my best memories are how the Fang Mao auto attack felt, and
Mhm.
like hitting him with an auto attack, and then you just getting him low enough to alt where you can execute him, and then it felt like the auto attack seamlessly like moved into the execute, and it felt like one fluid motion. It just felt like you were him. I don't know
Yeah.
any way to explain it, but
No, I
it
agree. I
felt
like.
nice.
It's weird. I want to say I like Paragon's Fang Mao better, but I actually really enjoy the predecessor kit.
You know, maybe
mostly
I'm
for the
sleeping on
resetting
something.
ult.
I don't
And
know.
I think that's why they had to make him so bursty, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sit there. I have to get this burst off. And if
Yeah.
if I get 5 huge bursts off and I'm able to ult every time, it
Mhm.
feels really freaking good. But that's where that
Hey,
skill.
Like Bearded said, maybe I'm just building them wrong.
he is a 3-item character. I will say that. He is definitely a 3-item character.
Well, I was talking to Wally before, actually, that after I did this time and I played as him, because like chat wanted me to play as him, so I played as him, and I was just like, "This is horrible. I can't do this." And I talked to Wally like the next day, and then I was trying to auto attack fight this whole time. Like I would use my abilities here and there, whenever they were there, like, but I wasn't like going in, using an ability, then getting out.
Yep.
That's kind of what you're supposed to do with him. That's why he's got 50 dashes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so you just continue to do that. But it's like, okay, I'm sitting there like I'm coming from when I play off lane or even jungle, I'm playing as Grux. I'm the guy that you're just going in there, you're ulting and you're just autoing the whole time. Like I want to kill you all. Like, that's all I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let me be Fang Mao, do the same thing. And it's like, can't do that. It's a completely different play style. And I think that's also why I just don't play as him, because it doesn't fit my play style. I only have a few of the assassins, Xerath and Seraph, that I play as, that I enjoy, but I don't play as Shinbi. I don't play as Fang Mao. I don't play as Countess. I don't play as Kalari. So I just like it's all playstyle situation.
I mean,
I mean-
speaking of Zarus, I think his change in the patch was actually brilliant, because I think Zarus right now has been seeing this like Ortis build becoming more and more prominent. And it's always been a thing, but I'm seeing more and more people do it. And then in conjunction with Ortis and his ultimate, he's just scaling like it mad, right? And just goes wild with it. And so they nerfed that cooldown on his ultimate. And I think it's just enough where he's not going to scale. He still will do that if you're still really insane with him, but he's not going to do it as fast, right? And I think that makes a big difference.
Did they not buff this overall damage or something like
His
that?
base
Was it
physical
on-
power
is it
got
on
increased by
Yeah,
2. Yeah.
by 2.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
So
Do you
it's
feel like that's
less
enough
than
of a
one ult
change?
stack, but they nerfed the cooldown on his ultimate.
I would build Ortis. So I would stack Ortis, I would stack his ultimate, and I would also build Melody, and I would stack Melody.
The
And
worst.
that
Triple stack.
guy would be huge. I can't remember. There was one game, like I can't remember. I screenshot. I went through me and Windows DMs. I could find it. I screen like, look at this. Like I had Ortis stacks. I had a crazy amount of stacks. I'm like, dude, I was huge that game. I'm like, whoo, look at that. So I do enjoy stacking with Xerath. I think that's one of my. It's like a game within a game. You're playing like, all right, just got to get these stacks. But I enjoy stacking with Xerath. It's hard to stack with Sevarog. Like that's just like that's a game within a game as well. But that one just like it's on a different level, and it's like
It's
to get
because
that
it's more
going,
often, right? It's like a mini game you have to play every 2 seconds compared to Zarus is every 120. Like you have to press a button and have fun, right?
Yep.
Like
And I mean, like you don't. It's best to do it with Xerath, but you don't have to. It's not like he's dependent on it.
sure.
Sevarog is dependent on it. Like if you don't stack with Sevarog, don't play Sevarog. Like if you can't get your stacks, if you can't get shoulders, you are pointless. Like you're useless for the rest of the team and yourself. Like it's just not worth it. Windu, what are your thoughts? I know we're gonna go back here a little bit, but I saw you playing as him, and I know you're an ADC, but I also know you when he first came out, you played him mid like hardcore. What are your thoughts on Grim and where he stands now with the buffs that he got?
I'll be honest with you, I love Grim. Like even
you loved Grim beforehand though.
That's what I'm saying. Even Grim before, I didn't think he was bad. It was just not easy to be good, which I do think there's a big difference there, right? Now he's definitely a lot more forgiving. Like he feels smoother. He's pretty much still has the same kit, but it's just as far as the fluidity, like, you know, popping up the bubble and stuff like that, it just feels a little bit more like, hey, you know what? I'm not kind of falling behind. Like I don't have to like pick my battles as much. I can just kind of battle and get away with it now. And like shout out to Bri, because he was in the chat literally right before the Predcast. I went up against his Grim and I was Murdoch, and that shit was just annoying as hell, because now literally every time my Richter tried to pull him, it's just like bubble, and it's just like fuck, like God, like just pull his support, bro. Like at this point, honestly. But yeah, he's a lot more viable now. I like him.
I do think that his increase to the length of his bubble is part to do with some people. I'm not the only one. There's a few of us in the partner chat that were talking. Like, I felt like I would hit the button and nothing would happen.
It's because there was a wind up. Like the wind up to it was pretty massive.
So now but they were saying that there's no wind up to it. Like, because like if you we compared it, us in the partner chat, we compared it to Bellica. Bellica stun. It's instant. All right. It's what they call it, iframe is what they call it. Is that the term I'm looking for? Well, you know, that's what it is instantly. You hit the Bellica knockup, and it's like as soon as she hits the ground, wherever the distance is of the knockup, you're going up. Yep. With Fault, you watched it come to you, and then you got knocked up.
Yeah.
You know, you could dodge it. You know, this in Predecessor you can't. It's instant thing when it happens. With you're feeling 7. With the Grim bubble, you should be hitting the button like a bubble should appear. And it's like you hit the button, it's like nope, bubble didn't appear, and then it's like then you got stunned. Like, well, I hit the button, and I know I hit the button. What's going on? Why isn't it happening? So it's like, and now it's like you give us that time at how long you can activate. It can be activated. You can preemptively hit that button a little sooner to have that. It's not going to die so fast.
So I think that's the issue with cleanses right now. Not that cleanses have an issue, but I do think they need a little bit more time. I do think they recently buffed it, but that feeling of being able to pre-cleanse something feels really not there, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I almost have to almost get hit to cleanse it.
Yeah.
By then it's over.
You can't get away at that point.
It is epic when you manage to cleanse it at the right time, though.
Yes.
I'm gonna just throw it out there. You time that steel orb just perfectly. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Like, yo, that's a Chad moment. The moment you land that cleanse, it's like, let's fucking go. Well, I'm not doing it again, but let's fucking go.
Because I agree with what you're saying, Wally. Like, if your crest cleanse, you have to like pretty much in a sense almost wait for it to happen for you to get it to work, or you just completely missed it. But like you have like a Chimera cleanse, there's that pre-cleanse time that you have beforehand that you hit the button, and as long as it's within that window, you cleanse whatever comes. Like, you don't have that with the crest. At least it doesn't feel that way. Like and it feels like it. And they did make a change to where that is a little bit
longer. Yeah, I think so.
But I think it is there. I don't know. I haven't tested it a lot since they made that change.
If you can't pre-do it though, things like Richter ults and hooks and Gideon's ult, it just feels like once you get that initial CC, you're like, even if you cleanse after, you try to get away, but it just feels like running away from somebody who's got a fishing line tied around your neck, and you just get drugged back in. There's not enough time unless you get it before. I don't know. It is frustrating. I get where he's coming from.
I do think Richter hook is like one of the maybe more forgiving ones if you hit it a little bit late, because you still won't get fully pulled.
Correct.
But it still doesn't feel good.
Depends
also, chat could just tell me to get good. I will say I'll take that all
Sounds
day.
like a skill issue. I don't know.
And they will.
The one I didn't like, but that's just because it's my main, is Grux, his double pain. Like the damage decrease he got for his double pain. I just didn't like that. I understand why he got it, because Grux can be a menace. I completely get it. I just, again, as it being my jungle and off lane main, like that, just I saw that, I'm like, oh, that one hurts. And it's just because like you look at it, damage decrease from 20 at level 1 to 10. Like you're only doing 10 damage with that. I'm like, ouch. Like that, like what is the point there? Like it hurts. And then the other levels it gets better as you go, but like that one just like, oh gosh.
I will say I'm not a Grux player going against Grux in the off lane. You guys might be sad, but I'm here for it. I'm happy. I'm tired of that. Like, maybe we're doing even damage now. I don't know. I'm tired of thinking, how in the hell is he doing this much damage to me this
Seriously.
early in the game?
Right. It's not in the patch, but like I've been seeing it and I completely agree with it. And it's something that I think because Revenant got touched, right? Revenant, his obliterate,
did.
cooldown decrease, his scar, his damage amplification, on hit is increased. Something that a quality life change for Revenant that needs to happen is something that Paragon Nova Prime had. His reticle showed you how many bullets he had. And you right now, the only way for you to see that is you look down on your ability bar, at the bottom of the screen. And as a carry, you're not trying to look down there that frequently, especially 4 shots. Like that's pretty quick. It's pretty frequently that you're looking down there for 4 shots. Like it's like so something have it on your reticle as an ADC because that's where you're focusing a lot of your time. It's something that they definitely need to have there. They need to implement a reticle for him for you to see that.
But I'd say they're just gonna say learn how to count to 4. And then
I was gonna say something.
Right, like they're just gonna say learn how to count to 4. But I'll be honest with you, I end up reloading on my 3rd shot a lot.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, bam, bam, be like, yo, you know what? Okay, I got 2 more shots. Shoot, mid over reload. I'm like, oh no, wait. Oh, bro, so often.
I'm saying someone in chat saying take away his reload. I don't think that's the answer. I think
no, that'll make him broken.
I think Bearded has it right. Just let a guy know where he doesn't have to look away from what he's shooting at. But put it in the middle. Who cares? Somewhere.
I think
don't take
E
away
could
his
be a little
reload.
bit better too,
I'll probably cry.
Yep. You said his E, Wally?
Yeah.
What
I
do you
don't
think?
really like his E. I feel like his E is just like
It was a filler ability.
like it's just it's like literally just there. It's just like, oh, I got hit with E. Like that's how
I think where they missed the mark, pun intended, is with Paragon. I remember it being like a damage amplifier, isn't it? Or is that what it is
it
now?
does. It still
it
does.
is.
It enhances the next, I think, with like 4 or 5 instances of damage or something like that. I have
because if you EQ, you do more damage.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Because I remember it, I don't know. It just feel like it did more in Paragon, original Paragon. I remember that being the go-to, and I feel like this time it doesn't feel like it's doing that.
Yeah.
I think that's an animation
It doesn't
thing.
feel
Because
like
when
a
you
pack
mark
full of
somebody,
yeah.
like, and I guess this is the same problem with Mori also, right? Like if you or even Kalari, quite frankly, if you mark somebody outside of Kalari's dagger, you don't really like there is no like cool VFX or like Revenant marks you. Yeah, there's like a little VFX that happens, but if you're not paying attention and you just focus on the fight, you're like, I'm pretty sure it's still active right now. I'm just trying to time it. It's just
Definitely
not
ran
as
away
flashy.
from a lot of Morgesh fights thinking, oh man, she didn't mark me, I'm good. And then I'm like porting back and just get stabbed. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, the second I hear those flies start swarming, I'm like, dang it, man.
Yeah.
Like, I was too busy hoping that she wasn't going to do it or didn't have me marked one way or the other.
It's so frustrating.
I had one definitely grief me to like the last second of my back to hit it the other day. Made me so mad.
That's rough.
Another thing I think for Revenant that could be there to balance him is take a note out of like Draven's book in League of Legends. For those that don't know, his passive is that he builds up the amount of gold he's going to get when he gets a kill by killing minions, right? Give Revenant the huge ability to like, when he gets a kill, if he's been stacking up minions, he really gets a reward from it, right? And he's relatively weak without that.
Well,
So it's one of those like that's his
that.
condition. He has to farm well and he has to get kills. If he doesn't do those 2 things,
Or a
he's
good
gonna be
bonus on his
But
ult, like when he's dueling somebody, that could be
Yeah.
a thing,
Well,
a reward for.
Isn't that already a thing? Like the bounty
Is it? I
collector
don't
thing?
know.
Like if he gets a
I
kill
mean,
in his
massive.
ultimate,
just
he gains a
it
bonus
doubles the
gold.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of his passive, I believe.
Not a big
okay.
Revenant guy.
All right. One last thing we'll talk about here. What are your guys' thoughts on the skin variants?
I really like him. Just like straight up. I think it's
Going
a
forward.
really I think it actually be cool if they just dropped colors and it'd be a different way for them to not have like who somebody, I think I saw it on Reddit. Somebody put up like, what if the master skin wasn't a whole new skin, but like essentially a variant that you could put on any skin?
Mhm.
type thing. And I feel like that would be really cool if they were to like continue to introduce that and play on that. Like
That
I didn't really
would be
like
really cool.
Yeah, I didn't really like the
Magma
like the
Turtle Grux,
amber.
get me in.
I didn't like the early Wraith, like that Shogun. I didn't really like that color, but this Cobalt Wraith looks clean. Like obviously the skin looks clean, but this
Got it,
Cobalt Wraith
fair.
just looks so much better,
Yeah.
in my opinion. So
This-
being able to have that, I think is really good.
Windu, Bio Freak, Master Skin, Murdoch.
I'm saying like,
But
Well
you're talking
done.
about Master Skin mixed with a Lizard Man. I dig it.
yeah,
Right?
That
That's
would
your
go
favorite
hard.
Murdoch skin. You can
Bro,
put that the
I'm so-
prestige skin look on that.
Bruh, recolors are coming through slowly. I'm waiting for the Biofreak Murdoch. Like my favorite Paragon Biofreak Murdoch was red armor with green skin. That was my
Yep.
favorite color combo.
That's the one, man.
And when they put in the game the complete backwards, basically, it's like, hey, look, red lizard inside this
yeah.
whack looking green. And I was like, no, why that one, bro? Like, no. So I'm super excited that they're adding this. I gotta say, like, I already got all the recolors and like the new skin and the variants for like Sparrow and Wraith and stuff like that. I love that because I'm a big guy, and Wally hears this shit all the time. I will be in the draft and be like, hey, yo, what skin are we rocking, bro? Are we rocking green? Y'all got green? You don't got green? Bro, you're whack. Spend some money, bro. How about red? How about red?
I'm
Every
anti-green.
single game.
I don't get green.
I'm
anti-green.
anti-yellow. Get that yellow out of here. I hate some
No.
yellow.
It's maze. All right, get out of here. Get it right. All right.
I forgot.
My issue with these, with somebody asked me if I got them. If I don't play these heroes, you know.
True.
But I
Yeah.
do like the variants. I like the ideas of the variants. Like, hey, like I can't wait to see them coming forward for other heroes. These are two heroes that I just don't play. Like Sparrow is my least played ADC, and I won't touch Clary because I'm anti-Clary. So like, there's just no point in me even getting those skins at all in that situation. The Shinbi skin, their that's their OG skin of Shinbi.
Mhm.
It just screams false Cyberquang to me.
Really? I think this
That
is
my
like
exact thought,
Galaxy.
Yes.
Really? I think this
Like,
is Galaxy Grux, but Shinbi. That's the way that I saw it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I
similar.
could definitely see that, but like the visor, like that's
Yes.
literally what Quang had for
Yeah.
Fault. And
I
it's the
literally
Cyber Quang they had.
went out-
He had those glasses, and
I
his
went
were
out and
blue though.
found that image and sent it to Mangoose. I'm like, I don't know, man. This is pretty like similar, right? Like, I agree with you, especially in the lore, their brother and sister, right? And I'm sitting there like, even worse, right? You're bringing this up to me, like,
It's true.
um,
Maybe they're talking with the Fault devs. They're gonna get that asset. They're gonna bring it in. You know, they're gonna
Don't.
have the Cyber Quang.
I owned that skin and still don't.
I have a question for you guys while we're on the topic. What are your go-to skins, even back in the Paragon day? And it might be a weird thing, but I love a good energized Decker. I was so happy when it got thrown into Predecessor. It's simple, but throw some fun, shiny lights at me. I'm like a goldfish. I'll stare at it all day. You know, maybe give me a couple more shiny skins. I dig it. I
True.
don't know.
My
Glow
favorite
skins?
in my
Mhm.
favorite in all of the three that I mained, right? Paragon, Fault, and Predecessor is War Chief Grux. It totally
Chief
gives
Grux.
me
Oh, God of
Kratos
War
feels.
Grux? Yeah.
that's-
We were talking about Quang, Overprime Quang, or Quang, or however you want to pronounce it. Come at me. It is. I say
Quang.
Quang. I say Quang.
Quang.
You can come at me. But the one with the big leather hat and he had
Yep.
those like weird inky animations in Overprime. I
So
love
good.
that. I was here for it.
But I
That
say
gives
mine's
me-
easy.
Yeah, I
That
don't-
gives me that skin from PTO gave me the Nameless. Is that his name?
I don't know.
You
There
talking
was
about
a
Aimless
guy-
in the chat? Lama?
No. It's a guy on. He's a jungler on League of Legends.
What?
Not a League guy.
Yeah,
There's
you
a-
lost me, bro.
Played a lot of League. I don't know anybody you're talking about.
Hey, Nick.
Well, it might be. I
Viego?
might
Is
be
he thinking
thinking.
Viego?
Oh,
I'll
my
throw-
steel skin did go
Yeah,
crazy.
right? Like, yo, in the chat, a dark Kev Ortiz. Kev Ortiz. I'm pretty sure that's how you say that. He said Mayan steel skin. That was a dope skin.
Yeah.
was
That
so
was
good.
a dope
So
skin
good.
with like the custom VFX and everything back in the day. That was spicy, bro. For me, it's easy. It's Biofreak Murdoch. Just a lizard, legit. That's it.
I think
Biofreak
Undertow
Murdoch.
Gideon was the best skin. I mean, I know that that's
Gideon did go hard.
it was just the best skin. I think yeah. Dropping anchors on people was just too golden.
You know, I'm gonna say
True.
right now, I feel like they're missing something with Crunch. I feel like there's so much they can do with Crunch. I don't know
That is
what.
true.
I
Yeah,
feel like
go
they
ahead
could
and
do
make
something
Mike
great.
Tyson.
Give
Why
him-
did you
yeah,
give-
I'm here for that, Mike
Right,
Tyson.
like
Give him some
why did
gloves.
you give Rampage the white beater? You could have gave it to Crunch. You feel me? Holy!
my
I think
God.
they're sleeping on Crunch skins. I think you can do a lot there. That's all. Yeah.
Summer Fun Twin Blast all the way.
You know, the squirt guns, they do go hard.
Yep.
100%.
All right, so Nameless is Jelly. I just sent you a link to a picture. Nameless is the Genesis MOBA for PlayStation. Is the name of that hero there? So that's where. But he was like after some. I don't play League. There's a League character that looked a lot like this guy, and I can't think of his name. Or maybe I'm wrong with that. I can send it to you too, Windu, because I know you play.
I'm looking.
Not
I mean, he's
League
kinda-
guy.
Oh, this is like a Yasuo looking guy.
That's that name. Sorry. So
Yeah.
that's what Quang in PTO, that skin gave me that Yasuo like feel, you
see
know.
that.
And
Yeah.
but Nameless was a Yasuo. It was the Genesis's version of Yasuo.
Samurai-esque.
Yeah.
Got you.
So that's where I was getting at. Sorry, I knew I had something there, but I don't play League, so I couldn't give you names the way I wanted to.
Are any of you big Wraith guys?
I have 4 games on Wraith. I was cooking the
You know,
other day.
Fair
though.
enough. I love
He
how
said
Wraith
I was
looks.
cooking. I was
love how
there.
Wraith looks. I'll admit, I just suck with Wraith. I want to be good with them, but I just suck. But no matter how many Wraith skins come out, I think they just hit the nail on the head with his default. I don't know. Something about the Wraith default, I love. I don't know. Every skin I say, why would I buy that? I like default.
According to a meta.city, I don't have any games with Wraith, and that
Oh,
sounds
wow.
about right.
I
will
love
say
what they did to
the-
Wraith's kit, but I do not have the technical skill to be able to aim as well as you have to play him effectively.
Yeah, it is
Especially,
hard.
I have a problem with Ortis by itself, and so if I'm building Ortis on Wraith, I'm just screwed. Like I'm just not gonna press the buttons well and just lose.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm.
Bro, I'll be honest with you. I love me some Wraith, but I for damn sure stay fucking up the order stacks when I'm Wraith.
Yes.
1,000%. Like I'll be there, bam, bam, that snipe, kill 3 people. I never press that shit. God
Yeah.
damn it, bro.
That's just me
It's
with any
horrible.
crest. It doesn't matter who I'm playing as. I just don't
Yeah.
press the crest. Like I'll get the mantle, the Zephyr's mantle. and I'll
Zephyrs, yeah.
and I'll be sitting there. I'll get 3 kills or 3. I'll be in a huge team fight, and then we walk out of it, and the chat's like crest, all caps. I'm like,
Yep.
Look down 0. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Mind your business.
Yeah, tough.
Focus
If
on
it's
your
like
farm,
an
not
ice
on
storm,
me.
I use it every time. If it's a Sapphires, I'm decent about using it. If it's an
Yep.
Ortis, I'm screwed. Ortis, Witch Stalker, never gonna happen. Sorry. Like I just forget it every single time.
I'm terrible at reclamation. I feel like I'm pretty good
Mhm.
with every other crest except reclamation. I promise you, the fake hit ult in front of me, I still won't press it. It's crazy.
Ortis is the only one. Ortis, when I play Xeris, is the only one that I can constantly hit because it's hey, you pop alt, you're popping Ortis. Like that's like you just
Those
know.
are the 2 keys you're
Bam.
pressing.
I'm going off right now. That's what I'm doing. That's like. Other than that, it's like, when do you want to press this? Like, you don't want to do it, like, especially I guess Phoenix is the other one that I'm actually pretty decent. Like, like, oh shit, I'm about to die. Pop it real quick, and then you just try not to preemptively do it because obviously people are like, okay, well, I'm just gonna sit here and watch that timer go down. So
My
for
problem
those
with
who don't
Phoenix-
know, you can counter Phoenix. Just let it count
Just
down.
let it go. Yeah.
Yeah, just let that bubble go away, and then
Yeah.
that person will die.
My problem with Phoenix is its cooldown is deceptively long that I will go into another fight after I've used Phoenix and be like, I got
Like you
Phoenix,
have it.
nothing to worry about. And I like spam the button and then die. And I'm just like,
I don't know.
huh? Like what? My Phoenix? What the heck happened?
The most frustrating thing for me is when somebody else pops it and you see it and you're just like, hey, well, wait a second, and then you just see you see one of your teammates come in and drop the elbow on him, and you're like, no,
Yeah,
what?
Bruh, when your jungler or solo laner walks up with Fire Blossom and they're like, oops. Like,
Yep.
One thing I'll say about the variant skins again. I saw somebody talking about pricing in the chat. I don't agree with them only being in bundles.
Yep.
Like I do think that you should be able to buy a base skin and be able to buy a separate variant. And I think it's okay if it's like relatively cheap, even if it's like the cost of a common skin. Like I think that'd be a lot better.
I don't know about the cost of a common skin. I think that's a little insane for a recolor that literally you go into a common and go, "Weep," but
That's true. Yeah.
I liked the roll bundles only because if you look at the Drongo skin and the Howitzer skin separately versus the bundle, one heck of a steal, let me tell you.
Yeah. I agree with those bundles. It's more so like the variant bundles. So like, you can only get the Wraith Shogun.
I'm not a big fan of those.
Yeah, I don't think that is okay. If you want to buy like the whole base skin and then want to buy a variant later, I think that's a move.
We talked a little bit of that with Robbie as well, because I explained like I don't want to spend a bundle on things like I want just the Argus spray, right? That spray fits me perfectly. That's what I want. And I want, you want just the Wraith skin. You don't want to get the whole bundle. Like, you don't want the original Shogun skin. You just want the Cobalt one. Like there's certain and they're talking about like that's like eventually they're going to get that way with their store. They're going to have a spray section for just the sprays. They're going to, so maybe they can have just a variant section, where it's just variants and you don't have to get a bundle per se. As they get, they grow a little more here with their store and how things are going.
I think,
but I agree with you.
Biggest aggressor, like this patch and the rogue skins, $50 for 2 skins, the sprays, and then the variants is insane.
Yeah,
like that is a wild.
Is it $50 bucks?
Yeah,
because I didn't even look at the Kalari one, bro.
If you don't own anything in the bundle,
it's worth it.
Oh, bro, I only looked at the Sparrow one because I don't give a damn about Kalari. They can uninstall Kalari for all I care, right?
Kalari slam,
but I'm just saying, I didn't even look at the price of both bundle skins. $50?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is the custom animations on both?
There's no custom animations on either.
I didn't buy them. I don't know.
The VFX are just changed to red.
Well, so here's my thought process behind it.
There are like Christmas, feathers, at least with Sparrow.
Christmas Revenant had custom animation, right? There's a flyer. So it had custom animations, the Christmas Revenant. It had custom voice lines also. On top of that, you got a spray. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a lot to it, and that was like 25, like $28, something like that, somewhere around there. And I was like, okay, you know what? I don't think that's bad.
Voice lines. So I don't know if that was a thing when we were listening to the video. I thought I heard new Sparrow voice lines, but I may be wrong.
Those might be voice lines that Shark was able to grab from UE or whatever. So because I know he has also been grabbing footage from old Paragon stuff too as well. So maybe he was able to grab that. So I'm looking in shop right now for the Sparrow individual. It's $22.50. For the Kalari individual, it's $22.50. Right. So it's giving you the Kalari variant. It's giving you the Sparrow variant, but it's also giving you a spray. With the bundle of them too, the Rogue Mega Bundle, it's $4,950. Right.
But that's because you own the heroes already.
They come with 2 tones with the skins in the bundles, right? Too. Like you get like a black.
Yes, I do own the heroes already.
But you get the main skin in the variant.
You also get like a profile icon. You're getting the profile icon and you're getting the banner with it. So
I wonder how many people are gonna buy it, because I feel like they should test waters and see like where the price is at, where like where the clash is gonna be, get feedback from people and stuff, and they only find out by releasing it, right? And technically in the world of business, they never want to release it lower and then raise prices. It's always better to release it expensive and lower the price as far as perspective goes. I mean, maybe if it were somebody else that weren't Sparrow and Kalari, I'd be a little bit more excited. But even then, like, quite frankly, I personally, as a skin guy, I can't say I can sit here and justify 2 skins because they added a cape, right? Well, actually, real quick, I'm pretty sure Sparrow's bow is yellow, and on this rogue skin, it's red.
The VFX changed. Yeah, it's a color change, but it's a change.
Yeah, true. So pretty sure that is a VFX change. So, but even then,
are red too.
Yeah. So even then, I think if they want to release individual, and this is just feedback to Ometa, right? I think releasing individual bundles and you're going to price them like, custom VFX and stuff like that. And if you want to aim 20 to 25 bucks, that's a choice on you guys, right? But bundling these two together and putting it around 50 or, we're saying 50 because, you get bonus if you buy the higher packs and stuff like that. But putting it like around $50 for both of these combined just looks a little bit too high. I almost would have preferred that you guys just put both the bundles side by side and say buy them both,
I think 30-35 would have been a good price.
I think that
For the bundle,
like a significant discount if you bought both.
Mm-hmm. For both, yeah.
It'd be different if they were like completely new and original skins.
They
I
add
think
a
that's a
game.
big thing too.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
Like they're also from Paragon, right? Like we
Right.
had these rogue skins in Paragon. Like they have a slight color variation to them now, but I think that's also a big part of it too.
I have a
Yeah,
question.
that's what I wasn't sold on as much either, is because I'm like, I've already seen these skins, I wasn't nothing crazy.
I said while I was waiting for the Parazombies to revivify, I was a Smite guy for a while. Are any of you familiar with Smite at all, or their skin system? No. All
Loot
right,
boxes,
I
yeah,
use it.
all the
I
time.
use it as a
No.
jungler.
No.
I'll
we're not
go to
talking about- I'm gonna.
I'll go to Smite just to get skins and then not play it. till this
the
day.
skins, so the skins are good. But they are come with it. The good ones come with a hefty price tag, like $100 for a tier 5 skin. Sometimes if an event's going on, but if you pay the $100, you're getting the tier 5 skin plus like probably 10-20 other skins that are coming with the event. So maybe chop it in half, call it $50. But we'll just say How Yi totem color skin from there. Literally, when you alt, instead of just a regular alt animation off the side of the screen, like you're just looking off in the distance, off of the map, a giant monster is now shooting your ability onto the map, which is like a pretty intense animation that nobody's expecting.
Yeah.
And I think that deserves the price tag. And whereas if I'm spending $50 on something that like just changes the color, I'm not so sure. I don't know. And I'm not saying they might not have something like that in the works. I get we're early, but
it's worth mentioning that that is $50. It doesn't make it that much better, but that is 2 different skins with, you know, perspective VFX and stuff like that.
$25.
I'm not saying they don't got better stuff in
but
the
here's the
works.
thing. Personally, I've paid much more than $20 to $25 sometimes for a skin with a cool animation, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And granted, like I'll bring up Valorant for example. I still have a sniper skin that's a dragon that every time I reload, the fucking dragon growls at me and shit. That shit was like $50 and then $80 if you wanted to level it up to the max tier with the gems and shit. So quite frankly, I still did that shit. I didn't feel good inside, but I wanted the skin.
I think at the end of the day, it comes down to what kind of fella are you? I don't know. Are you a cosmetics guy or are you just a gameplay guy? I don't know. I feel like there's 2 different breeds, and that's what it boils down to at the end of the day. I don't know.
Also, I'll ask this: what would y'all, if they dropped a bundle of all the Undertow skins, like what ballpark range would be okay?
Well, it's gonna be more than $50.
I know, right? I mean, let's say it's 5 skins, right? Gideon, and then the 4 we talked about earlier.
Well, I think they're probably gonna do
$100. I would be willing to do that, right?
No,
it's 5 skins, one of them being better theoretically if you're using Undertow with custom VFX and the whole 9 that Undertow had for Gideon, assuming the rest are basically just skins and not special effects or anything like that, right? I think $100 calling it a day, I'd do in a heartbeat.
I think that's fair. And then individuals like 20, but maybe with like a custom avatar or like something in the, like if you buy this separately, maybe just something a little extra if you're buying separately for the 20 individual, or I don't know. I think 100's fair though.
100 does seem fair to me. Yeah.
I'll be honest. If they're gonna keep doing this bundles in general, right? Even if they just decide to do like 1 skin per bundle, I really need a spray, a banner. I need the skin. And maybe even give me like a different color backing animation at least. Like make the bundle a little bit more worthwhile, even if sometimes a small color change can be the difference between you upselling something and getting 100 times more sales, just because now you have 1 color change. Let's say if you're Undertow Grux Now, whenever you're going off the jump pad, your fucking bubbles go after you or some random bullshit like that because you're a fucking turtle. I don't know, right? But like even something like that being tagged along, people would look at it and be like, hold on, so you're getting the sticker, the banner, the skin, you're getting not just animations in game sometimes, but also like either a new back animation for the season or a new jump pad animation. People might be like, $25 ain't that bad. You're getting a lot of value there. But the moment you just say skin, spray, oh, and here's a different color, it's almost like the different color gets discounted completely. It's just a variant, you know?
We can talk more about that on our next episode, though, because we'll get farther into that. I think we get, with more variants and stuff like that. And with the next patch, we'll probably get maybe another variant as well. But we are at our 2-hour mark. So let's do our outros here real quick and tell people where they can find you, what you got coming up, and give a little more information about you and a little tidbit to the community and what you think they need to do or work on or whatever, or a little shout out to them. All right.
Say more to that we introduce ourselves in.
Yeah.
Start.
Yeah, same intro. Yep.
Okay. What's up, guys? I've had a lot of fun today. It's Wally J, Wally J TV on pretty much everything. Definitely can find me on Twitch. Stay tuned for YouTube. I definitely will be putting some shorts up on TikTok too. Like I said, I may be spicing up the content, not just Predecessor. So definitely come and vibe. In terms of something to give the community, I'll give y'all 2 things: be less toxic and get better. And not just like get better, but actually like,
you can't say be less toxic and then be toxic right after, bro.
that's not toxic.
Skill issue.
That's not toxic. I'll say it like this: H2O came in my stream. He asked me a question. It was the perfect question. What could you have done better? Just ask what you could do better after every single game, and you'll be better after 50. Hopefully you're asking the right questions. That's what I should say. But
all right, Crypto.
Nice.
All right, I'm Crypto. I just, first and foremost, I want to thank the guys for having me on. It's been great. Love being here. It was a good time. And the rest of my name is Cryptopithecus, in case you can't understand what the hell that is. That's why everybody calls me Crypto. I'm on Twitch, but with an underscore after it. You can find me there. I stream Pred and some other things. It just kind of depends on the vibe that day. And advice I'd give the community is, if somebody's sucking, everybody has their day. Be nice as you can. And also, there's a lot of new players coming in. So, again, be nice and try to help somebody. If they're building weird, maybe suggest a nicer build or refer them to a meta city instead of just calling them trash and telling them to uninstall, because that isn't going to get us anywhere. That's all I know. And that's all. Thank you guys for having me.
Hey, thanks for being here. Jelly?
Nice. I'm Jelly Niece. I am a Pred content creator. I'm making content. You can come to my YouTube. It's just Jelly Niece. I actually will be dropping a video tomorrow, so I'm excited to have that come out, which will be great. And to keep on this trend of like anti-toxicity, I think it really is like assume positive intentions of the players on your team. Right? I guarantee you the majority of them are not going out of their way to feed their lane because they decided it would be fun. Some people are. I'm willing to bet that, right? But the majority of them are not, right? Give them the benefit of the doubt and just kind of turn chat off and have a better time, honestly.
True.
I agree. All right, guys. Beautiful Wolverine here. Again, my schedule for the remainder until softball season is done, because my daughter will probably make all-stars, so I don't know what that schedule looks like, but from I will be streaming only Mondays and Wednesdays. Wednesdays, when content is released, we'll be doing the PREDCAST from there, so stay tuned to Windows Twitter, my Twitter. We'll let you know when we're going to go live with that stuff. And then stream wise, again, so Mondays and Wednesdays playing Predecessor. If I'm not doing Predcast, Wednesdays will be Predecessor game time. For again, keeping on that same toxicity rule, instead of just don't be toxic. If to help learn the game a little bit for yourself, go into AI matches and try some builds. Try something different there. Because if you're newer to the game and you're just going in, Sometimes the recommended builds aren't the greatest builds. Sometimes just building off the fly isn't the greatest idea either. You can go into practice mode, you can go into AI mode, you can build those builds. Also, use Omega City. You have people like Windu that's got a bunch of builds in there. You got people like Soul Reaper that's got builds in there. You got people like Core that got a bunch of builds in there. They're not bad builds to just start off of, to at least understand, to get you into the game and understand how the character plays. So give those a try and get yourself in a little more knowledge going in. It's something you're not stressing out because you don't know what Sky Splitter does, because you don't know what Stormbreaker does. Just, hey, I'm building this item and this build, and learn the game and then understand the items as you go, because I know that can be daunting to a new player. So check those out, work on that. And just enjoy the game overall. Windu?
True. And actually, to add to that little tidbit, a lot of people don't realize that per character, usually just the first couple items are like core items for a character. And then when you get to the latter end, like third, fourth, fifth, it really is kind of situational when you come into it. So even just having those base builds as you learn, and then you make your own choices from there, does a lot. But honestly, my tidbit really quick would be assume that every bad player is a new player. Legit. That's what I do. Helps keep me sane. After the match is over, I realize that my 1-8 Morigesh is a diamond player with 2,000 matches, so then I'm a little confused, right? I scratch my brain a little bit, but the entire time throughout the match, I'm like, he's probably new. Maybe he just got up here into these matches, That's possible. Yeah, we've all had it to where you go up against that one player is like, not ready for that bitch. God damn, he whooped my ass. Okay. It happens, right? But skip my own little outro. I'm Windu. Again, Windu the Mace. You guys can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, quite frankly, anywhere. You could literally Google Windu the Mace, and I promise you, the entire first page is full of my shit all over. And yeah, honestly, guys, just you'd be surprised how far it'll go mental wise and how much you'll enjoy your games more if you just assume that a bad player is a new player. Straight up, just assume. I stopped trying to help people automatically because people take offense to that. Even if they're learning, they're like, I didn't ask for your fucking help. So it's like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna assume they're new. I'm gonna assume they're learning. I gotta carry harder. Well, Wally will vouch for me. You know how all the time I'm like, I just gotta carry fucking harder, bro. God damn. Like I suck. I gotta carry harder. But
I tell him to carry harder.
Yeah, and he tells me all the time, you gotta carry harder, bro. He'll be in the games with me. And he's like, you gotta carry harder, Windu. You gotta carry harder, bro. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Yourself, how could you have carried harder?
Drop a GG wherever you're watching right now, whether it be on the YouTube comments, whether it be on Twitch, just to let us know that you did make it this far. And as always, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. What's up? Peace.
Peace.